Can you hear me now? Yeah, there you go. Okay. I just needed to reopen my, mixer software. It was frozen. Alrighty. Back with Paranormasight. After finishing a bit earlier than it wanted last time, we had a little bit of a worry that maybe I was doing a no-no and streaming too early, but I definitely think now that I'm seeing more Let's Plays on YouTube, that the restriction for streaming and distributing videos is just Japan only. So we are going to keep going because I am loving this game so far and I don't want to stop playing. So we are paranormasighting today, but I've got the spoiler warning up. Although I really don't think I need it. But we'll keep it up there in the corner for now. Not so good. What's better, up in the corner or down below? I think down below it's a little bit more out of the way, but still visible. Okay. There you go, yeah. Okay, so where were we at? It seems the time has come to explain our circumstances to Detective Ida. I'll have to make sure not to leave anything out. Right, okay, talk about department. So, does it mean that you came all the way to me because you knew something like this was going to happen? Oh, that's awfully perceptive of you, Detective. I suppose you could say that, yes. At the very least, the situation hasn't come as a huge surprise. If that's the case. Oh shit, are we getting this guy's persona as well? Oh no, we're getting... Okay. Unlocked new chapter, Yumiko Shiki. That makes sense. It's like, why are we getting the detective guy? It would indeed, yes. Seriously? That does sound like a pain to deal with. I bet our chief knew all about this when he assigned me the case. If it lessens the burden, you'll have been a great help so far, Detective. I don't mind occult stuff, so I've been asking all these questions out of curiosity. But it's probably best if I don't get too involved with this paranormal business, right? You must have had a good reason for keeping it under wraps after all. I think that would be wise, yes. Still, I never would have thought that there's a curse out there that can turn people into fish. And it only half worked, so the victim ended up looking like a mermaid. That's bound to cause misunderstandings. The whole curse is originally meant to turn a person's whole body into that of a fish, you see. But the victim died before the transformation was complete, so it stopped before it could reach that point. The vast majority of the mermaids discovered over the years are either man-made fakes or victims of the same curse. I see. To be honest, part of me was kind of excited when I first saw what it looked like. Though, that might mean that there really are mermaids out there, you know? Exactly like the ones you hear about in the stories. I'm afraid I can neither confirm nor deny things there. Oh, I get why you're asking about the corpse identity now. It's because you realize they used to be human, right? That's right. Very recently, too. The transformation only likely happened yesterday or even earlier today. What? That recently? Some could really end up in a state like this just after a day. They certainly could. Seriously? These curses are scary. I'll get forensics to take a look when they get here then. Please do. The investigator in question has worked on paranormal affairs cases before, so they really shouldn't need any explanation. Ah, right. The case from yesterday. Great. That should give us some effort then. That should save us some effort then. Curse one day, mummified corpse the next. Sure is a scary world we live in. Maybe. Talk about spirit sense. You know, I sometimes find myself wondering if I have a bit of spirit sense as well. There have been times I've caught sights of strange things when walking down the road at night. And when I look into it later, I found the place I'd walked by had been the site of an accident or the like. Oh, that might be the real deal then. It's definitely a possibility. I would advise not going too close to anything you see of that nature. It becomes easier for them to target you if they realize you're aware of them, you see. Jeez, what would happen then? I guess I'd end up possessed or something? There is that danger, yes. In the event you are possessed, you may find yourself afflicted by headaches, muscle stiffness, and hallucinations. Memory problems and impaired thinking are also not unheard of. Nah, headaches and muscle stiffness definitely ring a bell. I sure hope it wasn't the work of some spirit. Do people really have their personalities taken over when they're possessed too? It may be possible with spirits who had a very close relationship to their target, such as if they were siblings or a parent and child. But you almost never hear about people being taken over completely. The negative effects I just mentioned are primarily caused by two parties not being in sync. That's good to know, I think. Even if a spirit were able to successfully possess someone, it would only be able to pressure them to behave. It would only be able to pressure them to behave in ways that wouldn't be unusual for the individual in question. I see. But in that case, there's no way of knowing whether you're behaving that way or of your own will or not, right? Exactly. Hence the prevalence of cases where people don't even realize they're possessed. Huh, so that's how things work there. As far as I know, I haven't been having any problems like that, though, so I guess I should be fine. Mum. What is it? Perhaps I could use my Shagan ability to see if it produces any results? Ah, that's an excellent idea. I almost forgot we had such a handy trick up our sleeve. Shagan? What does that do? Patience, detective. You'll see soon enough. Right. There. It's done. Oh? So it went well, did it? Well done, Sodo. What is all this about, then? Sodo can see the face of a deceased from a piece of their remains, however small. He can then sketch their features based on what he saw. Ah! So that's how you get a sketch of the victim in the other case. An ability like that would be priceless if we could use it on the Force, you know. Well, I hear it doesn't always work, so it's unfortunately not foolproof. So, what did our victim look like? Oh, shit! That's fucking User's mummy. About that. I think it might be faster to see for yourself. That's User's mother. Oh god, she did. It turned into a fish. This face. It's Somikawa. Wait, Somikawa? You can't mean. Dun dun dun. Oh. No, but she was cursed by one, maybe? Okay, so we're still... Okay, so this is the only one we can do right now, but there is something here I want to... There's something here I need to grab that I missed. Start from a zombie conversation. Where is it? There you are. Come here. I want the bird. And that's all. That's the only thing I needed here. I need to grab the bird. Wait, so, but if that's his mother, and she only died now? How does that work? Maybe. Maybe. I haven't watched further than I've played, though. But if that's his mother and she was only dead the same day or the day before, then how has she been gone or disappeared for, like, however many years it was since the thing? Maybe. Unidentified skeletons, Yumanoshiki. Recollection. Yumanoshiki arrived in Toba Bay, Mie Prefecture, to investigate the discovery of skeletal remains with her assistant Sodo Kiryu. Date unknown, August 1980. Okay. So we don't know what date this is. Oh, I should have read that. Welcome, Mom. I've been waiting for you. The site where the bones were found was just a little ways offshore from this beach. You went ahead and started the investigation, I see. Thanks for that. Not at all. You clearing everything with the local police meant all I had to do was arrive and inspect the remains myself. To get straight to the point, there's no doubt signs of a curse are clearly evident. The skeletal remains are tied to a supernatural incident. Seems like I was right to trust my intuition on this one. Alright then, let me hear your full report. Understood. Surroundings. I'm gonna open up my burger as well. But then, why would she have been away for, like... It happened, like, 18 years ago, didn't the thing? Wait. Let's look at our files. How long ago was the incident? "5 years ago. So she got displaced in time for 5 years? Is my best guess. This is the town of Ijika in Toba City. The area's historic place known for its summer divers. Oh, I know it well. It's also famous as the filming location for one of Japan's most well-known monster films. I wouldn't know about that myself, Mum, but you seem unusually well-versed in that area. Those old tokusatsu films are the best. You should watch some for yourself, Shoto. As you wish. I'll look into it. Ise-Shima Town. Small fishing settlements off the peninsula. Nice. Or maybe. Anything sus? I really don't think we get anything sus this early on to click, but I'm also needing to look out for birds. Skeletal remains. To begin, shall we review the details of the case? Is that really necessary? Summarizing may help us notice something we missed. Not a day goes past that I don't admire your diligence, Shoto. My thanks. I'll strive to be brief. A few days ago, a fisherman off the coast here hauled up a long rod-like object. It resembled a human bone, so he notified the police. That was about 10 days ago. So he fished it up completely by chance. Following that, the police conducted an underwater investigation of the surrounding area. They discovered multiple skeletal remains in a fissure beneath the rocks. All the remains were severely deteriorated, with each being several years to several decades old. As a result, forensics struggled to identify the victims. There was just too little to go on. Only fragments of the skulls remained, so facial reconstruction was apparently not possible. Hardly surprising in such a state. Still, with your ability, we hardly need facial reconstruction, do we? Indeed. I'll report my discovery shortly. You know, one possibility comes to mind. Will you humor me? Please, go ahead. I wonder if those skeletal remains could be the victims of the Kamishima Southern sea disaster from 5 years ago. Regrettably, that's not the case. Oh, darn it. Please don't sound so defeated. Forensics confirmed 5 bodies in total, but they said each had decomposed over a different length of time. Oh, meaning they didn't all die at the same time? Correct. The most recent appears to date back 6 years. The others go back some 10 years before that, and another 10, and another 10, and so on. So roughly 1 body every 10 years. Indeed. I imagine that any older remains may have simply decayed entirely. Which means someone's been using that fissure as a place to dump corpses for decades. It's surrounded by rock, and with minimal currents in the area, it's unlikely they drifted there naturally. Had that bone not been fished up by chance, we'd never have known. In other words, it was an ideal site for quietly disposing of bodies. So this was no accident. Someone did this. I keep falling out of her voice. I keep trying. I imagine quite some resentment must have piled up over the years. Indeed. But I've already cleansed the lingering resentment in the area. Leaving such resentment to fester could lead to a curse manifesting, after all. Efficient as always. My thanks. More talk of skeletal remains. There is one more point of concern that all the remains have in common. Go on. Each bore a clean, precise cut. Clearly severed. Severed? You're saying they were sliced straight through the bone? Exactly. Each was sliced down through the bone, all with a clean cut as smooth as the last. Forensics noted that reproducing such uniform cuts would be extremely difficult. Even with industrial equipment, such precision would have been unachievable decades ago. One possible explanation is that a master swordsman, wielding a razor-sharp katana, cleaved each of them in a single stroke. Yes, well, that would certainly explain it. But warriors don't exactly run around with swords in this day and age. Which brings us to the possibility of a curse, I suppose. Correct. If the cuts were made by a supernatural means, the rules change. And as it turns out, there were traces of a curse at each of the severed points. It was just a matter of time until we found one. Also, for the briefest moment, I glimpsed a curse echo that looked like a warrior in armor. A curse echo in armor? Yes. Judging from the crest on its armor and given our location, it appears to be a curse tied to the headgear. Right, the headgear. You are familiar with the headgear, I assume? I am not, so please explain it. The headgear? I'm not too sure. The headgear were a branch of the Taira clan, a warrior family who rose to power at the end of the Heian period. From their base in the Ise province, they expanded their influence, reaching a great heights under the Taira no Kiyomori. But, in their pride, they were defeated by Genji in what was known as the Genpei War. Oh, yes, of course. I knew that. For the non-Japanese people who don't know what the fuck Japanese history is, I'm guessing. The tale of the headgear preserved just how preposterous they were before they fell. Many who lived through the downfall carried deep regrets. Their resentment is especially persistent. Many traces remain even today, and they can be quite meddlesome. Indeed. You hear about it all over the place. I guess even by expert standards, it's quite the problem. The headgear. Abbreviated genealogy of the headgear. Paranormasight, Tadamori, Kiyomori, Iemori, Tsunemori, Norimori, Yorimori, Tadanori, Noriko, Koremori, Mori. The headgear were a branch of the Ise Taira clan, which was itself an Ise-based branch of the Taira clan, a prominent samurai family of the Heian period. Although the entire Ise Taira clan was greatly influential, headgear refers to the particularly preposterous lineage of Taira no Masamori, Taira mo Tadamori, and Taira no Kiyomori. Known as one of the most prominent samurai families of the Heian period alongside the Minamoto clan, the Taira clan was originally based in the Kanto region. However, following Taira no Masakado's uprising against the central government in the year 935 and its suppression of the hands of the Taira no Sadamori, the latter's son, Kurihira, moved to Ise province, where he came to wield significant political power. This was the start of what would be known as the Ise Taira clan. Look at all this history that I might not read. What's more, the katana that Curse Echo carried. I believe it may have been the famed blade Nukemaru. Nukemaru? Yes, a blade passed down through the headgear, once wielded by Taira no Tadamori. I see. It would seem your love of swords have proved rather useful again. Or rather useful here. Basically. So what you're saying is that these skeletal remains were cut and killed by the power of Tadamori's curse? I couldn't say it was Tadamori himself, but I am confident it was a curse from someone within the Heike. At the very least, it offers explanation for the mysteriously perfect cuts. But the body's being dumped every decade. Surely that can't be the curse too, can it? Is someone covering up the curse? Correct. I imagine that part likely involves further intervention by someone else. So this wasn't an accident by some spontaneous curse. There's a perpetrator out there. Indeed. However, I can't imagine any psychic with enough power to wield such a curse would dispose of these bodies so poorly. My theory is that someone is using a cursed stone. They are killing through its curse and then discarding the bodies. A cursed stone? Think of it as a talisman that lets even those without spirit sense use the power of curses. They are created when intense resentment fuses with a suitable relic. That sounds dangerously convenient. There were a few incidents involving cursed stones in Tokyo last year, actually. Didn't you hear? Oh, is that Honjo? Oh, now that you mention it, that somewhat rings a bell. Is that the Honjo incident? Cursed stones, a type of cursed tool that allows even people without any spirit sense to wield curses. As long as the tool meets the above criteria, it seems any shape or size may be referred to as cursed stones. Many cursed stones have conditions that must be fulfilled to use them, often based on the spiritual power and characteristics of the curse itself. If a cursed stone has low spiritual power, it may only be possible to use it under specific circumstances, such as when under the influence of the Feast of Shadows, a spell that heightens the potency of certain types of spiritual energy. Well, so in short, whoever's behind this possesses a stone imbued with the Heike's curse. They use it to kill someone roughly every decade, dumping the body into the sea. Yes. That aligns with the evidence. Thank you for the summary. We just mentioned a curse. Look behind, look up. Nope, okay. I'm paranoid, okay? Now then, about those skeletal remains. Were you able to use your Shogun, Soto? Yes, I did. It only worked on the most recent body, though. The one from 6 years ago. By viewing part of the remains, I was able to reconstruct a portrait sketch of how he looked like when he was alive. Here's a copy. I've already provided one to the police as well. Impressive. That ability of yours remains quite the asset. Not always. There are times when the vision just doesn't come through. It's far from infallible. Besides, there are those who could simply speak directly with the victim's spirit and ask who did it. Even so, none of these methods would hold up as admissible evidence in court. But as a lead in our investigation, it's more than enough. Excellent work. Thank you. We had the police compare the sketch against the missing people from 6 years ago, but no matches were found. Darn. That would have made things much easier. Detective Ida is continuing with the investigation. Ah, the detective with the local police. I've heard he's good, so let's hope he proves it. Toba seabed skeletons. Identities were unclear. Each body is thought to be deposed at different times. Yeah. That was just summarizing information we already know. Say, Sodo, that sketch of yours. Maybe we should show it to some of the locals. Ah, good point. Someone might recognize him if they were around here 6 years ago. If we can identify the victim, it could help us trace the one who used the curse. I guess we can't just leave things be now that we know there's a curse involved. Honestly, I'd rather not deal with it. There you go again. Are you sure it's not that's something you should be saying out loud? Obviously not. I just want to get this over with and go home, that's all. Yes, yes, we know how much you love your home. Like, I'm assuming that is something she nags about often. You can see the sea from here all the way to Kamishima. Do you sense anything out there, Sodo? Yes, I do. The waters south of Kamishima are saturated with the powerful presence of the curse of raging waves. I can sense it even from this distance. That's how strong it is. Is that so? Looking out to sea, I can't see a thing. I just hope this means we've made it in time. Even during the disaster 5 years ago, the energy was never this overwhelming. The seal is broken. There's no doubt about it. Gee, I wonder whose fault that maybe was. Is that me? Did I do that? Is that me breaking the seal maybe in the last episode? Oopsie doodle. I'm sorry. I saw something I could break and I broke it. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the Let's Play I'm watching from Nico B, because Nico did not find the rune and did not break it. So it'll be interesting to see what a playthrough where it's intact looks like. The seal's been broken. There's no doubt about it. So it's already broken. That isn't good. The sea still seems calm, though. Does the storm not break out immediately? Yes. Something seems to be holding it back for now. Oh, there's a silver lining at least. It seems stable for the moment. We probably have maybe 2 or 3 days of safety. Then we've got a bit of breathing room. Perhaps there's still something we can do. Oops. Curse of the Raging Waves. A curse that causes an outbreak of turbulent waves and violent storms in the seas around Kamishima. It is said that the curse was born from the resentment of the former residents of Taishima, an island once located to the south of Kamishima, after someone brought about its destruction. Some believe that several of the disasters that have struck Kamishima in the past were actually caused by this curse in some manner, including the Kamishima South Sea disaster that occurred 5 years ago. The person accused of bringing the curse to Kamishima was called the Raging Waves Curse Bearer and was shunned by the island's inhabitants. I don't know, it's hard to guess because I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I'll have to see what happens in a playthrough that doesn't break the seal. I hope we can do something about the curse of the raging waves while it's still being held back. Yes, despite all efforts, we still haven't found a way to lift the curse. We might have quite a struggle ahead of us. That's really the heart of the problem, isn't it? And we have no idea where your ancestors' keepsake is either. Nah, I apologize on behalf of my family. Mum, Behind you. Behind me? Are you sus? I see no ghostly sussy stuff. Woman. Who's that? Just someone from town passing by? She bolted. Sodo, after her. On it. Hey, stop. Yeah, let me go. I didn't do nothing wrong. Yoink. I've apprehended the suspect. Good work. Sorry for the rough handling. Mind helping us out a bit? What were you doing here, and why did you run? What? Don't get smart with me. You're the suspicious ones. Sneaking around and poking into things. Do you think folks won't be wary with shitty types like you wandering through town? I see. I'm sorry if we gave you a scare. We're with the police. Nothing shady here. You're with the police? Seriously? You heard about the skeletal remains found nearby, yes? That's what we're looking into. Tch, you don't look like police. Say, do you live around here? There's something I'd like you to take a quick look at. Do you recognize this face at all? We believe he may have been around here about 6 years ago. Huh? Nope. Don't know him. I see. Then could you point us in the direction of someone who might know about people coming and going in town? No idea. Ask whoever you want. Can I go now? I got nothing to do with this. Don't know a thing. Alright. Sorry for holding you up. Sus. Sus! What a peculiar woman. It was like her mind was somewhere else entirely. Well, either way, we should talk to more people in town. Agreed. Also, could you ask around and find out who that woman is? Of course. Several hours later. Ma'am, I've learned a few things. Excellent. Let's hear it. Aha, bird. Ask about a woman first. I also asked around about the woman we encountered earlier. Apparently, she isn't originally from this town. Oh? Is that so? Indeed. Apparently, she wandered into town about 5 years ago. She's been living alone in a cheap rental apartment on the outskirts of town ever since. When she first arrived, she had nothing but an old wooden box, which she was clutching as if it were very dear to her. Nothing but an old wooden box? Supposedly, she used to work as an armor diver around when she first moved here. She'd occasionally go diving for fish. But these days, she keeps it to herself and no one ever sees her diving anymore. No one really knows how she supports herself, and many of the islanders find her unsettling. Perhaps she fled from something and then moved her life here. That was suggested, yes, but she's never spoken about her past, so no one knows for sure. Although, according to her landlord, she's never been late on rent. And she's never caused any problems, either. Still, it seems a bit odd she'd get so worked up about strangers coming to town. Doesn't seem like she's in any position to be worrying about that. You think she might be hiding something? It's possible. Her attitude changed the moment we said we were with the police. Perhaps she was keeping watch over the coast where the bodies were dumped, waiting to see if someone showed up. Right. I mean, the most recent body is from 6 years ago, and she arrived at time 5 years back. The timing is rather suspicious when you look at it like that. We'd best be keeping an eye on her. Agreed. Were you able to get her name? Apparently her last name is Somikawa. Oh, that's fucking... That's... Yusa's mom, okay. But I didn't manage to get her first name. Somikawa. Why does that name sound so familiar? Okay, someone with the same name? Mum's sister? Mum's relative? You've heard it before? I think so. I can't quite remember where. But I'm a woman who cast off her past long ago. I guess I shouldn't let it bother me. Not this again. Let's leave any time-consuming background checks to Detective Ide. Very well. I'll inform him. Oh. Somikawa, female, don't know. Woman living in Toba, although occasionally does work as an armor diver. It's unclear who she is and where she came from. Apparently she shut on Toba about 5 years ago with nothing but a grubby wooden box to her name. Okay. So this means that woman may have been marking us since we got here. It's possible. I apologize for not noticing sooner. Even a moment's lapse can expose one to a curse. I was careless, but I won't let it happen again. You can be cursed that easily? That's terrifying. What a world we live in. I showed the sketch to the victim to several townsfolk. However, it would seem that no one here recognized him at all. Unfortunate. I suppose the chances are he wasn't from this area to begin with. I guess we'll have to place our hopes in Detective Ide then. You don't suppose we might be working with a bad sketch here? You needn't worry about that. I'm confident in the likeness. It should be near a perfect match. You're right. I'm sure it's close. Sorry for doubting you. It could have been a tourist. That concludes all the information I gathered from my inquiries. That helps a lot. Thank you. Shall I summarize our next steps? Yes, I suppose we need to do something about all this. Let's see. Regarding the unidentified skeletons, until we can identify the victim from the sketch, we have no other leads to move forward. I believe this is best left in Detective Ise's hands. Yes, agreed. And I think the same goes for the Samakama woman from earlier. We'll have Detective Ide look into her. It's nice to have someone we can rely on. Agreed on that end too. In other words, we can safely leave the skeleton case to him for now. Yes, though we should remain vigilant regarding curse stones. Regarding our main objective, or the so-called Curse of the Raging Waves, without knowing how to lift it, there's not much we can do right now. I don't suppose there's a chance you'd be able to break the curse using brute force. You're quite good at that. It's certainly an option if worst comes to worst, but I can't say I have high hopes it would work. I guess it would be more realistic to try and find some clues about the whereabouts of your ancestors' keepsake instead. Indeed. It said the item may hold the key to lifting the curse of the raging waves. But even the location of the map pointed that a keepsake was unfortunately lost to time. Although the map was said to be hidden inside a model of a mermaid mummy. Oh? Is that the fucking thing we find tomorrow? One rumor said it was sold overseas during the Edo period. That doesn't sound promising. If we can't find it, I guess we're back to trying to break the curse with brute force. But even to consider that route would need much more intel from the island. Which is why we need to head to Ise-Shima. And at the very least, advise the locals to evacuate. Yes, hopefully someone with influence there will believe us about the curse of raging waves. Is something wrong? No, it's just one of the islanders I spoke with seems to be calling me over. Something may have happened. I'll go find out. Please do. Mom. What is it? The person who called me over shared a new piece of information. They were told to keep it secret, but opened up since we were with the place. Go on. Earlier this morning, down by the shore, they apparently found something that resembled the corpse of a mermaid. A mermaid? Really? That same person reported it to the local authority, and was immediately ordered to tell no one, not even the police. You're kidding me. Wait. Reported it to a local authority and then was told not to tell the police. Okay. That local authority then contacted an unknown individual. Soon after, someone came and secretly retrieved the mermaid's corpse. That couldn't be more suspicious, could it? Exactly. They were uneasy about the whole thing, which is why they confided in me. What shall we do? Did they describe what the mermaid looked like? Yes, they said from the head to the shoulders it was human, but below that was entirely fish. So it was not the classic mermaid from fairy tales, it would seem. Only the head was human. They also said it was completely dried out, almost mummified. The face was unrecognizable. But they thought it resembled a local armor diver named Tamiko Suma. What? Apparently she went out diving alone this morning and hasn't returned. It's likely that it's likely what worried the witness. That's likely what worried the witness the most. That is troubling. Damn it, just what we need. More things to deal with. First things first, we'll deal with the mermaid story. Come on. This girl just wants to go home to her housewife duties. Summary of previous events. Mermaid corpse has been discovered. We need to go talk to the guy who's hiding it. Yeah. It would be very scary. Like, you could have basically no defense against it. At all. Mr. Yamashina, thank you for agreeing to meet with us on such short notice. I understand you're a busy man. Not like I have much choice when some bigwig from the Prefecture police is badgering me to do so. So, you're Shiki from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department? Security Division, was it? Ha! And here I thought you were just some housemaid. You sure you're from the police in that get-up? Well, I am primarily a housewife by trade, but it's hardly important right now. You're also known as the Unka Kudono, I believe. After hearing so many rumors, it's an honor to make your acquaintance. Rumors, huh? Unka Kudono. I'm guessing that's Lord of something? Yoshiatsu Yamashina. Who is this guy? Male tycoon, 70 years old. A wealthy tycoon who owns multiple companies and swaths of land, particularly in the certain Ise areas. Born in the Taisho period, unmarried. Oh, okay, so here's how Shinobu Wakamura got his wealth. Well, perhaps even as a lifelong bachelor, he has surrounded himself with many followers, both publicly and privately, and has never lacked the next for anything to satisfy his personal needs. A few years ago, he seriously began to consider an issue of a successor, driven by his determination that his beloved fortune should never fall into the hands of someone untrustworthy. Perhaps for this reason, he began to develop a keen fascination with immortality around the same time, and is said to be secretly investigating vast amounts of money into research on the topic. He wants to live forever because he can't have schmecks to make an heir anymore. Yes. I hear you've been doing some, under-the-table research into immortality. And? So what if I am? Well now, I wouldn't have expected you to be such a dreamer, but it does make you just a little bit more relatable. Huh, laugh all you want. What's it got to do with the place anyway? It seems, on this particular occasion, it has quite a bit to do with the police, unfortunately. You don't say. Sus? Any sussy shit? No, but I have bird. Mockingbird. The splendid gardens all fall within the grounds of Mr. Yamashita's Ise City estate. Part of me wonders why he needs so much space when he doesn't have a family, but I suppose he has an image to maintain. This is Yoshiatsu Yamashina. He's a tycoon with multiple properties and companies to his name, mostly based here in the Ise-Shima. He's long been rumored to be involved in various shady dealings. Special investigations have had an eye on him for a while now, but they haven't managed to find any concrete evidence so far. He seems to have a knack for pinning the blame on his subordinates before finding a way to slip away. Needless to say, he and the police are quite familiar with each other by this point. Though I don't doubt he has local police chiefs and politicians under his thumb behind the scenes. There's no need for me to get involved with all that. I'll be satisfied as long as I get the information we need from him. I'm gonna wrap up the rest of my breakfast burger. I'll get straight to the point. I believe you took a mermaid corpse into your possession this morning. What? The corpse is linked to an ongoing case. We came here to ask you to release it to police custody. No idea what you're on about. Of course, you will get something in return. We have some information I'm sure you'll find quite profitable in exchange. Like I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. If that's all you came in to do, then scram. Oh, pity. And I really thought you'd be interested in what we had to share. Assuming you really are interested in immortality. Well, I suppose we barely know each other. It's only natural you'd be wary of our intentions. What do you say, a little chat to get to know one another, Mr. Unakondo? Unkakudono. About Yamashina. I hear you've been putting quite the bit of effort into training the younger generation recently. What's your take on today's youth? Useless, the lot of them. Bunch of pushovers who all this new generation tripe get into their heads. We're the ones who built this country back up after the war. But they're out there strutting around like they own the place. Far too big for their britches. My, what a scathing review. Would a resident member of the new generation like to comment at all? Please don't call me that. I hear you've been searching for a successor, though. Given your strong opinions on the matter, I take it you're struggling. Though I can see why that could lead to a desire for immortality. After all, there's no need to cede your legacy to someone else if you can remain at the reins yourself. Yeah, that might have been true when I started my research. Oh, I take it that isn't the case now? I am no spring chicken. I thought living for 100 years like this ain't exactly appealing anymore. I don't see much point in immortality when I'm already long past my prime. Well, that certainly isn't different from the rumors. My apologies for jumping to conclusions. You may have my wholehearted agreement that immortality doesn't necessarily bring happiness, though. Let me clear up one more thing while we're at it. I've already decided on my successor. Oh. Oh. Pre-rolls are... I am going to run an ad real quick-a-doo. Well, so I get pre-rolls back on. Turns out the perfect candidate was right under my nose the entire time. I haven't told them yet, but they're a sharp one. They'll do a fine job. Is that so? I'm glad to hear it. I suppose that would mean you no longer have any need for immortality then. Who said I wasn't still interested? It simply has nothing to do with my successor. I still intend on continuing my research. My medical advancements, you understand. Think of it as doing my bit for society. You lot are always quick to assume the worst of whatever I do. How about you mind your own business for a change? Well, there's not much we can say to that. We'll try to be more discerning from now on. I've already chosen my successor. No need to harp on about it anymore. Already written up in my will and passed it off to my lawyer. You can be sure to let your friends at the police know, too. That's okay. Thank you for popping in, Casa, even for the little bit. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. By the way, you're obviously not some run-of-the-mill cop. Who are you? Why, I believe I mentioned it when I introduced myself. I'm just a simple housewife. Likely tale. Plus, that fellow next to you's got the strange air about him. He's no ordinary person, is he? Person. Hi. How observant of you. I suppose you could say that, yes. Heh. Doesn't take a genius to see it. You're one of them phony psychic types, are you? Phony? Ha ha! Had a nerve, did I? There are far too many of your kind around lately. Cozying up to those in power by feeding them a bunch of nonsense. Liars and cheaters, the lot of you. You seem to have quite the chip on your shoulder about this, Mr. Yamashina. Don't know if it's because of this occult craze going around, but I've seen far too many folks get taken in by that tripe. Ooh. Occult craze, spiritual phenomena, blah blah blah. That Wakamura over in Kamashita is one of them. Talk about a waste of potential. Wakamura? Can't say I care much about who you two are anymore. You're going around with some funny second tells me all I need to know. Ha ha! How dare you? Soto, calm down. He can think what he wants. Who might this Wakamura be? Wakamura? He's one of my proteges. He's the one they're currently in charge over in Kamishima. Used to have high hopes for that one. But that changed when he came under the thrall of some phony sorcerer in Tokyo. A phony sorcerer in Tokyo? You heard that right. Since then, there's been no end to his nonsense. Buying properties out in the mountains, changing company names, all because of something the sorcerer whispered in his ear. He even told me the layout of my house was unlucky and tried to get me to renovate the place. Just recently, he was going about some curse causing that big storm. That sort of rubbish. A storm caused by a curse, you say? Even said the storm 5 years ago was caused by the same curse. He's been trying to wheedle me into helping him find a way to stop it. But I'm done with him and his ramblings. Man's clearly a lost cause. He'll be coming over here tomorrow morning, but I doubt it's time to have someone else take the reins. He'll be coming over here tomorrow morning, but I'm thinking it's time to have someone else take the reins over in Kamishima. I see. Even though you believe in immortality, you refuse to associate with anything to do with the occult. And you do. I figured someone claiming to be a cop would have more sense than that. How are you meant to solve crimes if criminals can just pull out curses left and right? You won't find me disagreeing there. So what exactly has this Wakamura been saying about this curse? Hell if I remember. Why don't you go to Kamishima and ask the man yourself? Maybe we will. Thank you for the information. Is there anything you can tell us about this phony sorcerer that Wakamura was so devoted to? Wakamura went on about how there's a big show who appeared on television. I never heard of him. As I said, ask him yourself. Of course, we'll be sure to do so. There is one thing I should warn you about. Eating the flesh of that mermaid you found won't grant you immortality. And what do you know about that? Well, you know, one hears all sorts of things in this day and age. I don't know where it came from, but there seems to be a legend that eating mermaid flesh will grant one immortality. All I wanted to say is that it's just that. A legend. There's no basis in reality at all. How can you be so sure? Just think about it. If the legend were true, wouldn't it be strange that no confirmed immortals have ever been found? Yeah, who's to say they're just living in hiding? The legend of Yao Pikuni is passed down in over 100 places across Japan, yet not a single verifiable immortal has even been found to show for it. Would you mean to say all those legends are fake? Please. If even just one of those tales is true, there's always a chance there's an immortal hiding away somewhere. I see. You really are quite the dreamer, aren't you? I figured you were just trying to bluff me out of that mermaid corpse for some reason or another. But now I'm sure of it. That thing's hiding some sort of secret, isn't it? Something you don't want me to find out. So you admit you have the mermaid corpse then? Oh, don't worry. We assumed as much from the start. If I'm not mistaken, that mermaid was in a sort of mummified state, no? I doubt you'll be eating it as it is. Surely there's no harm in handing it over. So you can hog it to yourself? You won't fool me that easily. You don't think that a rare specimen like that ought to be placed in the care of proper research institutes? I'm saying I'll get a specialist research institute to study it. Problem solved. I suppose so. 'Cause he's rich, he can just pay for it privately. I'll make sure that mermaid gets studied properly. Don't you worry about that. Okay, it's not... About the portrait sketch, then. He just keeps repeating himself. By the way, you're quite well connected around these parts, if I'm not mistaken. This doesn't have anything to do with what we came here to talk about. But I was wondering if you happen to recognize this person in the sketch. He seems to have lived in the Ise-Shima area around 6 years ago. Nope, never seen him. I assume you've heard the news about the old human bones found on the seabed? This is the sketch of one of the victims from that case. You are sure you have no idea who it could be? First I've heard of it, actually. Got no interest in things that have nothing to do with me. Is there something around here I'm supposed to find? Because he keeps repeating himself. I guess... Tokushodo? I'm amazed we were able to make an appointment with him so this quickly. Yes, and all thanks to Detective Ide. It would seem he's quite capable fellow. He's quite the capable fellow. After looking into the corpse of the mermaid found earlier this morning, it seems highly likely it was taken into the custody of Mr. Ise-Shima here. He's quite a big shot around here with plenty of weight to throw around both politically and financially. Of course, all the local police know him and his moniker, Unkaku Dono. We had to get one of the higher-ups to act as an intermediary to even get a chance meeting with him. Personally, I'm happy as long as we can get the mermaid corpse back from him. Although I certainly won't complain if he can tell us anything about the curse as well. He's quite a curmudgeon, so we'll have to watch our steps with dealing with him. Oh, here we go. How about this, then? If you agree to give up the mermaid, we'll tell you what we know in return. For someone who doesn't seem to believe in the occult, you seem awfully fixated on this mermaid and immortality. Which suggests to me you found something you consider quite conclusive. Bah! What are you on about now? Well, I happen to know a bit more about mermaids than most people. Ma'am, are you sure? It's fine. I had the opportunity to do some research on them a while back, you see. You don't say. And? Well, mermaids do indeed have the ability to grant human immortality. Ha! I knew it. More precisely, individuals granted immortality in this way are known as 800-year immortals. So they have a lifespan of 800 years. Oh, that's right. As the name suggests, they gain 80 years of remaining life. During this time, they won't age a day, and even if they die, they'll resurrect immediately. Sounds like a real blessing. No, I'm afraid it's anything but. One who defies the very laws of nature like that is no longer human. They're an anomalous being that should not be allowed to exist. As such, our position requires that any such individuals we find are dealt with as swiftly as possible. Meaning, if you do succeed and they find you, you die. Indeed. This immortality was originally a curse mermaids placed upon humans. A curse? Immortality is neither a blessing nor a salvation for the living. It's a curse that robs them of the ability to die. None of those who have become 800-year immortals have found happiness. Not one. It renders living among other humans impossible and makes them an outcast from society. Of course, there are a few years at first when life will be tolerable. But after that, every meeting ends in parting. You outlive whomever you love or are loved by, and even if you find acceptance, it will only be for a time. You'll always be shunned eventually. You'll experience this over and over for 800 years, and 800 years be unable to die. With loneliness as your constant companion. This is why many see no other recourse than a life of the monastic seclusion, just as Yao Bikuni did. I suppose that makes sense. Still, there will always be those who seek immortality. Always have, always will be. You think so? I, for one, struggle to see the appeal. In any case, there are also certain conditions that must be met for a curse of immortality to be effective. Eating a mermaid's flesh alone isn't enough to make you an 800-year immortal. Oh, what exactly are these conditions? Sorry to disappoint, but I'm not aware of the specifics there myself. Okay. 800-year immortal. A person who has gained an 800-year lifespan after being cursed by a mermaid. Someone who ingests part of the body of a mermaid that meets certain conditions. Oh, sorry, okay. It needs to be a specific type. Someone who ingests the part of the body of a mermaid that meets certain conditions will be cursed and become a being known as an 800-year immortal. Once cursed, the individual's own body is lost and a provisional body is reconstructed using the parts of the mermaid ingested as a medium. Their soul is then transferred to this provisional body, which they are able to control as if it were their own, with their consciousness presiding over both their soul and body from the head. As such, they could already be considered to be more spirit in nature than human. If the individual is fatally wounded or contracts an illness that results in their death, their body will instantly be restored to its default state, allowing them to revive. In the event they lose any body parts, their heart will treat the largest remaining part of them as their main body and regenerate any lost parts from there, with the removed parts subsequently vanishing. This even occurs in the event the lost body part is the head. However, these individuals heal from non-fatal wounds at only a slightly faster rate than their bodies would be capable of naturally. These people feel physical sensations and pain to the same extent as they would have in their original body. It is extremely difficult to tell whether an individual is an 800-year immortal or not unless they die, and even for the individual themselves. The lifespan of this provisional body is 800 years from the time of its creation. Due to the individual's original body already being lost, not even the mermaid responsible for the original curse is able to dispel it. The individual will only see their end of their long life once 800 years have passed. I mean, I'm sure it's not that easy, but my thing would just be, well, find another 800-year immortal. Or do it together with a best friend or a partner. But I can say this much at least. The mummy you have in your possession is no mermaid. Huh? Bullshit. Ain't no way there's anything other than a mermaid. What I mean to say that the mummy is different from being... What I mean to say is that mummy is a different being from the mermaids who wield this curse. Not all half-fish, half-human beings are mermaids, you see. In fact, calling them all by the same name is what leads to mishaps like this one. Say what? You mean to tell me that's not a mermaid? That real mermaids are a completely separate thing? That's right, which is why I can say with confidence that eating its flesh won't make you immortal. Seems like you weren't bluffing after all. So what is this thing then? There's gotta be some reason you're after it. I imagine that if you had dissected it and examined, all results would point to it being just a mass of fibers. In other words, nothing more than a man-made fake. There's a very good reason for that, you see. The mummy is merely a corpse of an average human, twisted beyond recognition by the curse of the forsaken fish. What? Another curse? Another curse wielded by mermaids, as it happens. That would be the remains of someone who died under it. It also happens to be the same curse responsible for the mermaids found every few hundred years or so across the country. You see now why I would rather you handed the mermaid over to us? The poor soul deserves a proper burial, same as anyone else. Surely even you're not so hard-hearted to deny them that. Ugh, curses this, curses that. It's all a bunch of hokum, if you ask me. That said, the report I got from the Research Institute earlier said exactly the same thing. Oh my! I take it you've already had the mermaid dissected then. They said it was likely a fake, but I asked if they wanted them. But I asked if I wanted them to keep going anyway. I told them to keep at it, but it should be clear now that you have nothing to gain from researching that corpse. Least of all information on immortality. Won't you consider handing it over? Oh, but they found what's in it, right? Of course, we could always take you in on charges of abandonment and desecration of a corpse. All right, have it your way. I'm so glad you've come around. Thank you for your cooperation. Give us the fucking fish. Person. I'll give you the damn mermaid. But in exchange, I want you to tell me one thing. What is it? You say there's real mermaids out there. Where are these real mermaids hiding then? I suppose you could call it the eternal world. The eternal world? Yes, mermaids are not creatures of this world, you see. Their original home is Ryugu, the domain of the sea god. Ryugu? And how do you get there? I'm sorry to say that Ryugu's doors are only open to the dead. Going there is impossible for a living human. Ha! You could claim anything with a fairy tale like that. All sounds like hokum. That said, the entrance to Ryugu is said to lie somewhere in the Ise Sea. There have been numerous sightings of mermaids crossing all over this world in the area's long history. Which is why Ise Bay has its share of mermaid legends too. Now that you mention it, I have heard one of those stories too. Some old tale about mermaids being found on some long-lost island called Ise-Shima or something like. What? Wait a moment, where did you hear that story? Aha, caught your interest, have I? Looks like the story has some merit to it after all. I was simply surprised, that's all. It's not a name I've come across in any historical records. Oh, she knows something. Ise-Shima. An island said to have previously been located to the south of Kamishima. As it has long since vanished, it is sometimes referred to as Taishima, or Lost Island. No official records remain, and it remains shrouded in mystery, with knowledge of it preserved only in tales passed down between residents of the Ise-Shima area. Legends say that the island was besieged by someone 400 years prior, and the curse of the murdered islanders caused the entire island to sink. We've got an Atlantis situation going on? It's just something I heard from one of the young'uns I have out there looking for mermaids. I see. Sounds like you've got yourself a capable young hand. I don't suppose it would be possible for me to meet with this individual. Nope, not happening. Unless you're willing to spill the beans on everything you know about mermaids. Every last bit of info. Maybe, just maybe, I'd consider it then. It's clear you're no ordinary housewife after all. Yeah. Not interested? Then this meeting is over. I'll hand the corpse over to police as promised. But don't think I've given up on mermaids or immortality. If they really exist, I'll find them and make them mine. Ha ha. She's pissed. Ise City. I'm almost finished with my smoothie. Hey there, you two. Sorry for calling you out here when you're so busy. I figured it would be best to give you the rundown on our findings as soon as possible. It's no problem. Go ahead. Birds. No birds? I would have figured there'd be one in every kind of location. Okay. What you got for us, Ide? So, did you manage to meet up with Mr. Yamashina? Yes, thank you again for your help there. It seems he's willing to hand over the body without any fuss. Really? That's great. Still, why would a big shot tycoon want to do with all that trouble? Go through all that trouble to withhold a body? If anything I've heard is true, you could probably take him in on charges of desecrating a corpse, you know. Or was there something special about that corpse? How observant of you, Detective. I can, of course, explain it to you if you'd like to know more. Wait a second. Is it related to that secret department of yours? I think I'm better off not knowing if so. Oh, really? I wouldn't mind bringing you into the fold. Ma'am, please. Stop trying to rope him into helping us. I've never met the guy, but I hear he's quite the cranky old geezer. How did your meeting go? I'll bet he was pretty aware of you being with the police. But did he try to pick a fight with you or anything, didn't he? Oh, well, I'm not sure. You could say it went smoothly, but I don't think we upset him at the least. Probably. Someone in the background is not looking impressed. About the portrait sketch. Oh, right. That's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. So I got all hands on deck going around asking about that sketch you gave me. And we finally found someone who recognized the victim. Oh? Well, that's great news. The person who recognized him was a housewife in her 20s who lived in Kumano 7 years ago. Apparently the sketch looks like a 19-year-old she knew who left the village to go to the city. So 7 years ago he was 19, no? From the sounds of it, the guy had no relatives to speak of, left the village with nothing but the clothes on his back. She doesn't know what happened to him after that. I see. That would make him a young man with no relatives who left his hometown behind 7 years ago. Do we get a name for our mystery man? Sure did. His name was Kippei Ikoma. Kippei Ikoma. I looked him up on the residence registry, and it does look like he moved from Kumano to the Ise City 7 years ago. But it seems like he doesn't live at the place he put as his address anymore. Oh, that's unfortunate. I checked with the apartment's landlord, and it would seem that about 6 years ago, the landlord had his contract terminated after he failed to both pay his rent and return to his apartment for several months straight. The landlord didn't put out a search request or anything, so that's where the trail ends, I'm afraid. So he went missing 6 years ago. I suppose it would surprise me if those were his remains. We'll keep looking into Ikuma to see if he was involved in anything, but that might have led to his murder. Of course, there are always the possibility we've got the wrong guy, so we'll keep asking around just in case. Please do. Turbo CP skeletons. And that will just update with the information we just got. I will probably read through all of this when off stream as well. Like all my files, so I've got all my information. The woman we spoke to said that the sketch was really accurate. No doubt about it, her mind has a coma. Well, that accurate. Then I'm sure we've got the right person. Still, how did you even manage to make that sketch? There was nothing left of the victim but bones. Oh, well, let's say it's classified for now. Right. Well, I guess that means I shouldn't pry any further. Oh, yeah. I looked at the lady you were asking about. Samikawa? Oh, yes. Did you find anything? Well, it seems she hasn't registered as a resident even though she moved here 5 years ago. And nothing came up for Samikawa in the civil registry either. So I'm afraid I don't have anything on who she is or where she came from. Sorry to disappoint. I see. Is that quite common? Happens. It's not unheard of for folks from the countryside to just come here for work and just drift on. No one really knowing who they are. Apparently it was really common during the post-war growth period. It seems we have quite the mystery woman on our hands. Yep. Even though it's something I've been wondering about. Though there is something I've been wondering about. Oh, let's hear it. You've some idea of who she might be? Well, have you ever heard of the Kamishima Southern Sea disaster? It was a big maritime disaster that struck 5 years back. I have, yes. One of the victims of that disaster was an armor diver and housewife from Kamashiba by the names of Mara Minakuchi. But it seems her maiden name was Somikawa. So our mystery woman shares a surname with a maritime disaster victim? I'm impressed you managed to dig that up. Yeah, I was already looking into the Kamishima disaster before the skeletal remains, so it was a happy coincidence, if anything. So you thought they might be related, too? I'm glad it wasn't just me. Anyway, it seems like the bodies of those disaster victims were never found in the end, which got me thinking. Wait, are you saying? Yep. I was thinking that Mary Minakuchi could have survived the disaster 5 years ago. And you think she moved to Ikija and started going by her old name of Somikawa again? That's right. What do you think? It seems like a long shot, but maybe. But if that's the case, why would she have stayed in Ijinka for 5 whole years without thinking to contact her family? Maybe she lost her memories in the disaster? Right, if she only had her own memories to rely on, it wouldn't be that odd she went back to using her old name. Surely her appearance would still be the same, though. It's difficult to imagine no one recognizing her for 5 whole years. Yeah, it's possible she just never ran into anyone she knew. That kind of thing is more likely than you think. Oh, speaking of appearances, I had a picture of Mara Minakuchi in the report of the disaster. I haven't met the Somikawa myself, so you could take a look for me and let me know what you think. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. What do you think, Sodo? If she'd aged 5 years and grown badly gaunt, I can certainly see how this woman might come to resemble Miss Somikawa. My thoughts exactly. So you agree it's a pretty solid theory? It's certainly worth looking into, yes. But if she really is Mary Minakuchi, there's something else that concerns me. Something else? Oh, I was like, wait. Okay, the NPCs in the background are changing to imply people are moving around us. I was like, wait, that used to be a little girl and that's an old lady. It's just what I've heard. But it seems like the islanders over in Kamishima think Miss Mirakuchi was the cause of the disaster 5 years ago. What? Why would they think that? No idea, but it seems like it's pretty much taken for granted by most of the folks over there. Even just mentioning her name is a sort of taboo. So I was thinking it wouldn't be odd if she felt like she couldn't go back home because of that. Surely not. Seems like a good reason as to why she wouldn't want to come forward anyway. If she really is related to the storm 5 years ago, she's a point of interest regardless of her connection to the skeletal remains. Perhaps it's worth looking into that first. Oh, hello. Still building up a clue count. Yes, I'm collecting theories. Oh, yes. It was my birthday a couple days ago. Yes, for me a couple days ago. And I'm leaving it on because it's my birthday week. It's birthday week. I should be wearing my birthday hat. Also, I kind of can't remember how to take it off. But it's cute, so I'll keep it. Ah, thank you. Welcome in. I'm sorry I didn't see your message earlier. I got invested in my reading. But hello, welcome in. Feel free to chat. Feel free to lurk. I'm finishing my smoothie. Yep. Okay. Can I leave talking to Miss Somikawa to you two then? Yes. I love this game already. Are you playing this yourself, or have you played the first one? We'll handle that, yes. Okay. talking to Sordo then? Let's hear what Detective Ide has to say. I have, though... Oh, surroundings. This is one of East City's residential districts. Right now, the ground is so hot, the air around it seems to be shimmering. Police box. That's just the police box I was waiting at. Something you were wondering about. Oh, no, I just happened to find myself looking at it, that's all. Would you rather talk inside? I bet there's no air conditioner. There's no air conditioner, but it's probably cooler out here. So it's probably cooler out here. Oh, really? I honestly, if so far what you've seen of this stream has interested you, I believe the first game is on sale for another few days for like $4 on the Switch eShop. Honestly, I would recommend it. It's... The first game came out in 2023 and it is peak. It's really, really good. It was probably my game of the year. And it's unfortunate that Square Enix just didn't market it. It's very, very niche, but very, very good. If you like spooky horror mysteries, there's nothing better, honestly. It's quite alright. Talking out here should be fine. Is there any other shizness that I can click on? Poster. Oh. And what do we have here? Oh, this? This is a poster advertising Ise-Shima. Something about it catch your eye? No, I was just thinking, surely it would be better to put it somewhere tourists will actually see it. Good point. Maybe they had some posters left over. I can click it again. Interested in Ise-Shima, are you? That's a nice place. Great tourist spot, too. I recommend it. Running around my suit, are you? It's just a cheap old thing. Sorry, I don't have anything more presentable. Oh, yes, it is on Steam as well. And iOS and Android, but I would probably say get the PC version. I've heard that there are issues with the mobile versions, the mobile ports. Despite the heat, Soda looks as unruffled as ever. I do hope he isn't just pretending to be alright. Do I need to think? So people believe this Mari Minakuchi called forth the curse of the raging waves 5 years ago, do they? I didn't expect the curse of the raging waves to come up here, of all places. Wait. That's it! I remember now! The sole survivor of Ise-Shima. His surname was Somikawa. There was something else about Somikawa. A wooden box? Surely that'd be too much of a coincidence. Yeah. Unfortunately, this one is not great. So yeah, Steam or Switch is what I would suggest. Well, that's about all I had to report. Thank you, Detective. That was really informative. As for our next move, could we ask you to keep looking into Kippei Ikoma for us? Roger that. We'll see if we can find Somikawa again and hear what she has to say. Unfortunately, it looks like our trip to Ise-Shima will have to wait until tomorrow. So it seems. Oh, you had business on Ise-Shima too? That was actually our original reason for coming here, yes. But now we've gotten caught up in all of this other troublesome business, so it looks like dealing with that will have to come first. And here I was hoping I'd get this over with as soon as possible so I could go back home to my husband. I see. You really are devoted to your husband. Oh, very much. Though I do worry as he never eats properly when I'm not around. Her husband is sus. I don't know. I'm sussing everyone. Everyone is sus. In any case, please do get in touch if you find anything else of note.
Even if it is just something out of the ordinary happening, anything could be of help.
Sure will do. Though, you're kind of making me worried something might actually happen now.
I'd certainly prefer it if it didn't. Anyway, I'll be counting on you, Detective.
Bam. Back to the coast. Where is Samakawa? Exactly. Everyone is suspect.
Oh shit.
What?
Bad news, Mom. It seems we were a step too late. What do you mean? Oh shit. It seems someone came and took that Somakawa woman out to sea just a few minutes ago.
What?
According to the witness, a foreign man came to the port with Miss Somakawa in tow. Then they boarded a motorboat that was moored there and headed out to the bay. It didn't appear to be by force, so we could probably assume they knew each other.
A foreign man?
Not sure what's going on, but we should probably get a boat and follow just in case. Yes, let's see if... Duh. Soto, what's wrong? The spiritual force. It's overwhelming. My body won't move. What's going on? Yeah. Oh. That girl over there. Is she doing this?
You can withstand this curse. You really are quite strong, mister. Sorry, but I can't let you go any further. I'll have to ask you to leave. Oh god. Words. I'm already bad at reading. Voithikos, Henuma, guardian spirit, grant me the wisdom of the numerous. The numinos. Oh, high guardian spirit, light my path ahead.
It seems like they've saved us the effort of searching for them. So it seems. Let's see if this girl can tell us what we want to know.
Oh, fight.
Fight, little blonde brat.
She does.
She's reminding me of Gwen from Ben 10 with her little book. With her little book in purple aura. Who are you?
I could ask the same of you. What do you want with Miss Somakawa?
So you know who Miss Somakawa is, do you?
Maybe. What's it to you?
Mum, this girl's spirit sense is extremely potent, but she lacks experience. It seems she's hesitant to employ curses against people. I have an opening. I can use my curse of binding to restrain her. Usually it's too risky to use on ordinary people, but that shouldn't apply here. Alright. I certainly wouldn't mind getting some information out of her. So this is as good as an opportunity as any. I'll see if I can get her to lower her guard. When she wavers, I'll signal for you to use the curse of binding. Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan. On your signal.
Ah, shit. I'm bad. If this is gonna involve quick time events, I am ass at those.
Use Sordo Kiryu's curse of binding to restrain your opponent when they let their guard down. Press the use curse button to signal him to use it. You only have 3 chances to use the curse. This is gonna go badly. Oops. Okay. Question? Can we assume the foreign man who took Miss Samakawa is a friend of yours, then?
So what if he is? Why are you trying to follow them?
A compliment? You certainly have remarkable strength for your age. Why, it might even be too much for us.
What's with the sudden praise? You're creeping me out.
Appease? Now, there's no need to be so uptight. How about we stop all this and just talk a bit?
Not happening. You're going to use the curse the moment I drop my focus.
Yeah, it's no good. She's too wary of us. It seems to have to press her further before she'll give us an opening.
Okay.
What do you want with Miss Somakawa? I can say the same to you. You just want the relic for yourselves, don't you? What? You know about the relic? If you know about the relic, I'm afraid we can't let you get away. Get away? I'm the one holding you here. We'd rather not be heavy-handed about this either. Let's calm down and find some other way to resolve this, Dick. Back! This didn't work. That didn't work either. She really isn't letting her guard down. Sorry, Sordo. So this is our last chance. Back. If you resist any more, I'll have to be taken... If you resist any more, we'll have to have you taken in for obstruction of police duty, of public duties. Wait, you at the police? Despite appearances, yes. Defying us could net you in quite the heavy punishment. I see. So you must be from Paranormal Affairs. Then I definitely can't do what you say. What? You're also with Paranormal Affairs, then? Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. I suppose that's the trouble with secret departments. Not even their own members recognize each other. What a bother. I'm so bad at it. I'm so bad at this type of shit. Threaten. You have quite some nerve standing up to us despite knowing where we're from. Don't think you'll get off lightly for this. Threatening won't get you anywhere. You cannot arrest me unless it's an emergency, right? Appease. So we're both from Paranormal Affairs, are we? Let's talk. Perhaps there's some way we can help. I told you, I don't know what you're talking about. It's none of your business anyway. Even knowing we're from Paranormal Affairs, you keep a straight face and hide your ties. I can tell you're both bold and smart. Thanks, I guess. Will you give up now? I'm wondering if the chance was... Because when we said that we were from the police, she briefly for a second had a shocked expression. And then she regained her cool again. So you're Paranormal Affairs. But you need the relic yourself, so you're unwilling to cooperate with us. Am I correct? If that's what you think, can you give up already? I guess we pretend to give up and then use it? I don't know, man. Shit. Alright, I understand where you're coming from. We won't interfere anymore. Sordo, you can stop now. Ma'am? Gotcha, bitch! Yeah! I absolutely... Okay, I do think there's probably a branch there where we do actually give up, but... Nah, gotcha, Brett. Yeah, you grown-ups and your dirty tricks. You did well to be cautious of us, but I'm afraid this is how grown-ups get things done. Now, will you tell us what you're up to there? Yeah. Oh, that was her. Well, I suppose I've slowed you down enough. You'll never catch up to the boat now. Likewise, Asteri, guide my path and with thy merciful hand uphold me. What? She broke the binding. Bye-bye. Yeah, confound it. Stop right there. Looks like she's given us the slip. I doubt we'll be able to catch her now. Still, I'm going to have a word with Paranormal Affairs about that girl. I put a call into Paranormal Affairs about our errant young lady just now. I see. I assume she's indeed affiliated with them? Yes. It seems her name is... Circe? lunar light. Circe? I'm guessing it's Circe. Circe lunar light. She's an exorcist from England who came here on exchange. Part of her spiritual training, as I understand. The Lenarlight family. I see. Oh? Are they well known? I've heard of them, yes. They're a distinguished family of exorcists. Quite an old one, too. It would certainly explain the strength of her spirit sense. Right. In any case, it seems she's in the care of paranormal affairs while she's in Japan. Honestly, I do wish they'd tell us these things in advance. What is she doing here in Mie Prefecture? Well, it seems even Paranormal Affairs isn't sure what she's up to. They've been looking for her. From the sounds of things, she's been skipping her training assignments to travel around Japan, visiting all sorts of spiritual spots instead. It doesn't seem like they're keeping an eye on her at all. Unfortunately not. They asked me to tell her to return to Tokyo at once when we next see her. I see. Will work for us then. Yes. The things we find ourselves caught up in. She seemed to know about Somakawa too. I've got a bad feeling about all of this. Shall we try looking for her? I imagine she's still in the area. No, not now. If that is all true, I doubt she'll be looking to cause too much trouble. Besides, I'm sure we'll run into each other eventually. Well, I think that's enough trouble for one day. Let's call it a day. Head to Kamishima first thing tomorrow. Understood. Okay, that is... So there is something I've forgotten here. Resume. Maybe... Because I didn't talk to him about breaking the seal, right? Start from after the gathering? Start from conversation 1. Kamishima is located on the waters near the entrance to Ise Bay. As such, there are strict regulations on both times and places diving is allowed. So, when I was diving just now... Okay, yeah, we've read this. He finds the hole and he mentions the hole and it... blah, blah, blah. We've seen this already. Ghostly version of him pops out. Spooky, spooky. It's Tomo Kazuki, blah, 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 blah. This is the maybe not so great thing about these games, is that if you've missed something that will take you to a new event and you can't guess what it is, you have to replay it. I think there is an auto mode, but I'm not sure. I can make the text go a bit faster, but then that means the thing will go weird. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think. I think the only thing I haven't talked to Azami about is breaking and finding the seal. Tomokazuki. Haha! There's more. No, there's more. Actually, this might be the most important part. Oh, he needs to leave. I'm serious. If I don't pull this off, something terrible's going to happen. Hey, I believe you. Go on, tell me everything. Conversation 2? Nope, that's the wrong one. Ah! Is there something I'm missing when I'm in the water then? Because this is... This is incomplete. Right, let's leave it there for today. Diver's rank's gone up. Do you feel any different? Feels the same. Nothing's changed. Go back immediately? Talk about the whole... You got it. Kamishima Port, here we come. There we go. Okay, now and then we can move onwards. Gah! It's hard to figure out what you need to do sometimes. It could also be that I'm stupid, but hey. It's neither here nor there, right? August 7th. Kamishima Jetty. Hey, user. I took a catch to the market while we were changing. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. You keep this up, you should be able to make a healthy profit. Even with the price of gas. That's great. I'll have to keep at it then. Chie. There you are, Azami. Don't tell me you went out fishing today. Oh. That is not the type of voice for that kind of woman. Older, mature voice. Oh, Chie. How's your back doing? Not gonna get any better lounging at home, that's for sure. More importantly, no one's meant to be taking their boats out right now because the storm that's on the way. Don't tell me you didn't hear. Yeah, but it was more of a warning than a rule. And the weather looked fine, so I figured it was okay. You should know better than that, Azami. You young'uns never listen, do you? Veteran armor diver Chie Toyama. Chie Toyama, female veteran armor diver, 59 years old. The de facto leader of the armor divers on Kamishima, she is a highly influential figure on the island. She married into a family on Kamishima shortly after the end of the Second World War at age 20, and has been working as an armor diver for close to 40 years. Really missing the opening day of each diving season. She has displayed a natural talent for diving ever since her days as an apprentice, coming to be known as Chie the Mermaid, for the deft ease in which she maneuvers through the water. In her heyday, she had earned more money than her husband, enough to send all 3 of her sons to university, an achievement that she takes great pride in and has also earned her considerable authority in her household. Now a grandmother to 7, a back injury has led her to being less active than she used to be, but she still is considered one of the most experienced divers on the island. Her graceful swimming shows no signs of decline, continuing to inspire others even now. Her estimated diver rank is 67! Buh. Going out with the Minakuchi boy of all people. Actually, Azami only took his boat out because I asked him to help with my work. Wait a dang second. Don't tell me you went out to dive. Ugh. Why? I did, but why do you ask? Am I not allowed to be an armor diver? Absolutely not. I won't allow it. What? Why? Yus is a member of the association, same as everyone else. And he follows the rules, it should be fine, right? Sure, it's rare for guys to become armor divers, but it's not like it's forbidden or anything. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm saying he should be allowed in the sea. It's obscene is what it is. Everyone agreed to put up with him for being on the island for Suyu's sake. But now he gets in and is here to go about diving of all things? Have you no sense, boy? Ugh. Seems like I'll have to have a few words with Suyu. You not knowing your place is going to cause everyone trouble. Listen up, Minakuchi boy. You better keep your head down and stay put on dry land where you belong. No more diving, you hear? What a bitch. Bitch. Hey now. You don't think that's going a bit far? There's no way to land a user like that. Zami. What? You really don't think anything of all this? After what his mother did? Nope, not at all. Yusa hasn't done anything wrong. He was a victim of the disaster too. Maybe more than anyone else. Recently, there's been the strange rumbling coming from the sea. The same rumbling as 5 years ago. Everyone's scared of what might be coming. They're bracing themselves for another big disaster. Oh, is that what you meant by the storm? The weather forecast said all things were going to stay calm for a bit, though. To hell with the weather forecast, it didn't save us 5 years ago. Anyhow, you see why we've got to stay in the god of the sea's good graces. No doing anything to upset them, got it? Superstitious witch. She sucks. Don't let it get you down, user. She ain't a bad person at heart. But the old folks here are all pretty firm in their beliefs, I guess. Yeah, it's only natural. I kinda was expecting it, to be honest. Still, I don't think she'd get that mad. I guess they have a bigger chip on their shoulders about this than I thought. It seems like they really think your mom was to blame for the disaster. Yeah. I guess wanting to get to the bottom of things there is one of my reasons for becoming an armor diver. Yeah. Everyone's been avoiding the topic till now, but they can't go on forever. Hey, you two. Kikuo. Oh, it's Kikuo. Yeah. You two over there. Can I get some help with these boxes here? I need some help to get to them I need to get them into the warehouse. Local armor diver Kikuo Tsui. More people. Good. There's a lot of characters. Female armor diver, 28 years old. Woman born and raised in Kamishima, unmarried. She is known for her friendly, sociable nature and has almost sisterly tendency to look after others, both of which make her a familiar face to many on the island. Ever since her school days, Kikuo harbored a strong desire to leave Kamishima and make a life for herself elsewhere. While most of her classmates began working as armor divers following graduation from middle school, she decided to enroll in a boarding school as fast. Oh. Pre-rolls. I'm gonna quickly run. Okay, yeah. I'll read this and then take a break. Or, actually, I'll run and, yeah. I'll read this and then take a break. Ever since her middle school, she decided to enroll in a boarding school towards fulfilling that goal. Going on to graduate from junior college in Ise Prefecture, then finding a job in general administration in a company in Ise City. However, because her assigned work consisted only of unfulfilling menial tasks, like pouring tea and answering calls, she left only after 1 year. She changed jobs repeatedly over the following years, but found no further luck in subsequent workspaces. Eventually recognizing that success as an armor diver is determined solely by the extent of one's physical prowess and ingenuity, she came to find the idea of such work appealing and moved back to Kamishima 4 years ago. Despite her late start as an armor diver compared to her peers, she leveraged her high athletic ability a talent which even saw her star in the national athletic meet during her school days. Her innate knack for analytical thinking and research consistently turned out good results, and she has since earned the respect of even the veteran armor divers of the island. Her estimated diver rank is 41. Kikila has had scant luck with... I don't think we need to know about her dating past, but sure. Having been introduced to several potential partners, only to be turned down by all of them. Her parents, anxious for her future, worry that the large birthmark on her face is to blame. But Kikila herself remains unfazed, citing her lack of interest in marriage as the primary cause, something which has caused them no end of concern. Although she endeavored to hide her birthmark with makeup while at school, during her time as an office worker, she has since embraced it, proudly proclaiming it to be her symbol. Okay, we are going to take a 3-minute break. Go have a pee, go grab a snack, go have a drink. We'll be right back in 3 minutes after the ad break to keep pre-rolls off.
Righty, I think that is ad over. Let's get back to game. Thank you for bearing with the ad break. It's just it helps keep pre-rolls off for new potential viewers coming in. And it gives everyone watching a break to go toilet and grab a snack, so let's get back to it. I need to burp. Sorry, I finished my burger during the break. Phew, thanks. I could really rely on you young'uns to help out. Young'uns? You're a young'un too, Kikuo. Nah, how kind. Pretty sure you're the only one who'd say that, though. I was told out of nowhere to make sure anything valuable is stowed away just in case a storm hits. What a pain. So you're getting ready for the storm too? Yep. Pretty silly when the weather's this good, but it's not like I can say no, though. Speaking of pains, I overheard Che giving you an earful just now. Are you seriously planning on becoming a diver user? Well, that was the plan, but it's looking like I might be forced into retirement before I can even begin. Why now? Don't you come back here just to look after Sue? Yes, but I still have to work, and I've always been interested in armor diving. Grant was also pretty down about no longer being able to dive, so I thought I might cheer her up a bit. Yeah. So you want to follow in Sue's footsteps? Still, you must have noticed that everyone on the edge just thought of you coming back here. If they hear you went diving, there'll likely be a bit of an uproar. They really are against you going into the sea. I've never heard anyone saying anything like that. Well, they don't say it when you can hear it. Everyone loves you here. Everyone knows you're close with the user. They probably feel like they can't be that tough with him with you around. What was that? Oh, never mind. I figured I said anything. I can't deny there's been this creepy rumbling coming from the sea recently, though. It's no wonder everyone's unnerved. If some sort of disaster does end up happening again and user gets caught doing something he wasn't meant to, that'll probably be it for him. Yeah, that's what I don't get. Do people seriously believe user's mum caused the storm? Everyone suffered because of it, including user's family. It's so stupid. Hey, I honestly think it's stupid too. But the truth is that there are a bunch of people who believe it. Making a fuss about it isn't going to get you anywhere, right? Besides, even if the storm doesn't come in the end, a different kind of storm may already be brewing. A different kind of storm? Well, you shouldn't have any trouble if you keep your head down. Just be good and do what you're told, and we'll get on your case, yeah? Oh, give me a break. What's he got to keep his head down here? He was born and raised in Kamishima just like anyone else. Hey, getting mad at me won't change anything. But if I've upset you that much, why don't you leave? Leaving a place like this behind might be for the best, don't you think? Maybe, but I can't just ask my Grant to move somewhere else at her age. Then you'll have to put up with it. If you want to blame anyone, blame your mum. Does Mum do anything 5 years ago? No one wants to tell us anything. No idea. I only came here after the disaster, so I don't know what happened at the time. Mr. Wakamura seems like he knows more than he lets on, though. Now that I think about it, why don't you ask Suyu what she knows? Suyu? I've already asked Gran about countless times. She says she doesn't know anything. And you don't think that's a bit suspicious? If anyone knows something, it'd be her, right? You might be right. She is pretty hard to read. I wouldn't be able to tell if she was hiding something, by the way. Right? It's a spooky, slightly spooky. I'm not sure how hard this game will go into the horror. The first game was pretty creepy. It was pretty spooky. But, yeah, it's like a spooky Japanese yokai kind of ghost story and themed mystery. And there's a lot going on as well. Anyway, I do feel bad for you, but you've just got to grin and bear it for everyone's sake, eh? Oh, thank you. I try. I try to do voices. I'm not great at voice acting, and some voices
drop in and out, but I try to make them at least distinguishable enough. Thanks for the help, you two. Try and stay out of trouble, okay? Kikyo really seemed like she didn't know anything, huh? But folks are way more on edge than I thought. Yeah, I've gotten the sense that I'm not exactly welcome here ever since I came back. But I didn't think trying to make a living here would lead to that much backlash. I didn't realize everyone disliked my mum to quite that much, or that they were so suspicious of her. Seems like the timing wasn't great either. Everyone's wound up about these little omens that keep happening right now. Still, I'm sure that now my mum must have had some sort of secret. And I'm almost certain it had to do with what we're looking into. If everyone hears that I went diving today, it might prompt people to start talking about what happened 5 years ago. True. If there's any time to ask about your mum, it's now. Aw, thank you. I think we should see what Old Man Wakamura and Tsuyu have to say about this too. Yeah, assuming Gran agrees to talk about it anyway. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh! Oh, okay, that fixes the timeline. Okay. Okay, so yeah, nothing happened yesterday for them, and then... Okay, so the mermaid popping up is... Okay, trying to piece things together in my brain. Okay. So all of their things happened later. Cursed. What do you mean cursed? Oh god. Time to get a good kiss, guys. Let's get cursed. Summary of previous events. The residents of Kamishima are extremely against Yuza becoming an armor diver. Yuza believes the hidden secret behind his deceased mother, Mari Minakuchi, is the reason for this and is also the key to finding the mermaid. So he begins a full-scale search. True. If there's any time to ask about your mom, it's now. I think we should see what the Old Man Wakamura and Tsuyu have to say about this all this too. Yeah, assuming Gran agrees to talk about it anyway. Onto the map. Oh? I've not heard of that. It's similar to a zombie game? Who knows, there could be zombies in this game. Do we want to talk to the rich asshole first or Gran first? I say, well, I want to talk to the Gran last. We'll talk to the rich asshole first. Oh, great. She's here. You two again. What are you doing here? Yeah. She is here too. We're chatting about something important right now. Scram. I guess we've got no choice to come back later, huh? Boo. Okay, we'll talk to Gran first. Well, actually, we're gonna explore. I wanna look for birds. Oh! Hi. Well, if it isn't Shitaro. Hey there, you two. Just the men I wanted to see. You two wouldn't have happened to see Sato around, would you? Sato? No, I haven't seen her today. She was supposed to meet with me earlier, but she never showed. Ooh, interesting. Huh? She didn't show. Did something happen? Well, I'm sure it's just because of my old man's ridiculous request earlier. Honestly, I don't know what he was thinking. Still, he's really been acting a bit off lately. I can't believe he'd say something like that. Is something wrong? Oh, pardon me. It's nothing for you two to worry about. By the way, Yuza, I heard you become an Iva diver. Yes, but I was told to stop, so I'm currently on extended, if not permanent leave. Ha! Oh, don't let it get to you. I, for one, think you should go for it. Imagine everyone's been using your mother as an excuse, saying she brought bad luck to the island or some such. Wow, that's exactly it. Do you know why everyone keeps saying Yuzu's mum is a bad omen, Shotaro? Yeah. What was it again? Something about her being the Raging Waves curse bearer. The what? Raging Waves? The Raging Waves curse bearer. Raging Waves is all, well, exactly what you'd think it was. And the curse bearer has the power to call forth that calamity of the sea. My old man was going on about it earlier, but probably just superstitious nonsense. Don't pay it any mind. Ugh. But I really should get going. Let me know if you see Sato, okay? I'll see you later. Ooh, I just got a puppet. Thank you for joining the Discord. I'm pretty curious what about Shotaro said. Yeah, the Raging Waves curse bearer, huh? Do people really see my mum that way? Maybe we should ask Mr. Wakamura what he knows. It's worth a shot, at least. Anyway, let's keep moving. Okay, so definitely is worth it to check these other locations as well. Huh? Seems like there's a bit of a commotion over there. Maybe they know something about the rumors. Want me to go ask? That'd be great, thanks. Hey, what's up? Did something happen?
Oh, if it isn't a zombie. Oh, I don't know if you've heard, but... Blah, 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 oh my god, blah, 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 blah. Gossip, blah. Welcome back.
Man, once they get started, they never stop talking. Anyway, nothing about your mom, I'm afraid. But they did have some interesting things to say.
Interesting things?
Do you want the normal news first or the roaring news? Normal.
How about the normal news?
We've got a bunch of tourists visiting right now, as usual. But what's really got people talking is that there are 2 foreigners among them today.
Oh, really? I hear Ise Grand Shrine sees a lot of foreign visitors, but it's unusual for them to come to the outlying island like this.
What's more, it seems they've been going around asking a bunch of questions. And get this. Apparently they said they've come here looking for mermaids.
Mermaids?
Curious, right?
Yeah, right when we were looking into them too.
That's not all. For some reason, they were asking about your mum, Mirai Minakuchi, too.
What? But why would foreign visitors be asking about my mom?
Seems like people think they're pretty shady. I was told not to go near them and everything.
No, I definitely want to hear what they have to say. I wonder where they are now.
They're probably still in Kamishima, at least. Though the question is where. Well, I guess if we see 2 Westerners around, we'll know who they are, huh? Apparently they're an older man and a younger girl.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll know them when we see them. I hope we manage to find them.
The worrying news.
Well, let's hear the worrying news.
Okay, then. There is a report that 2 armored divers have gone missing. Apparently both cases were around Ajika town on the mainland.
Oh, were they diving accidents or something?
I guess so? Seems they're still under investigation, though.
The sea hasn't been rough lately. But I guess it's still a dangerous job, so you never know what might happen.
Still, the 2 armor divers going missing one after the other is pretty unusual, so it does make you wonder. It wasn't that long ago there was all that talk of human bones being found in the sea near Toba, you know.
I remember that, yeah. Isn't that also near Ajika?
Maybe this is why Chie was going on about bad omens?
Yeah, it's definitely worrying news.
Okay, well that looks like there's all the info we're gonna get around here.
Let's try going somewhere else.
So now, can we talk to...
Oh, I mean, I guess we could check to see if there's anyone at the jetty real quick.
Oh, just her again. Oh, it looks like Akio's back. Want to try talking to her again? Yeah, let's give it a shot. What now? I've had my fill of shitty rumors for the day, okay? If you want to talk, let's talk about something fun instead. Something fun? Got any ideas, user? Well, how about this? We could ask her about the foreigners if she's seen them. By the way, have you seen any 2 foreign tourists around that were supposed to be visiting today? Wait a sec, foreign tourists? Here? Today? No way! What did they look like? Did they have blonde hair? Were they cool? I'm not sure. We don't know much about it. I guess that means you haven't seen them either, though. Yeah, I guess they didn't come this way. Hey now, you two had better not be thinking about following them around to gulp. You don't want them to think we're unsophisticated louts out here, do you? Weren't you just asking whether or not they were cool? I don't know what you're talking about. But if you see them, you'll come tell me, right? Right? Okay, we will. Man, I sure hope I run into those foreigners before they leave. She's not even trying to hide what she thinks anymore. I want to see the white people. I want to know what they look like. Girl, you had... Well, I guess this is the 80s, so maybe not quite internet usage out in this kind of... water island. Boxes. About the boxes we helped with you just now. Was that the delivery everyone was expecting? Yep. The latest Kamishima merch, hot off the presses. I thought so. What do we have this time? Are they blonde? Yeah. Are they blonde? With blue eyes? No, they were redheads. Go away. Those happen here too. Oh, really? You want to know? I bet Azami's keen to find out. He always was wearing that t-shirt. Sure am. Gotta show the world how much I love Kamishima. Tourists love that shirt too. You're wearing it all the time should make great advertising. Anyway, the latest addition to our souvenir lineup is this. What is that? It's a paddle? Or a coaster? A hand mirror. Bingo! Specially made hand mirror with Kamishima Maru design on the back. So, what do you think? It looks great. When did you go with another hand mirror, though? Well, mirrors are a pretty prominent symbol of protection for sailors. Comes from the hope that the sea will be as smooth as glass, I guess. There's even regions where the mirrors are used as offerings to the sea god. Oh, that's cool. With all those people living on the island and surrounded by the sea, I can see why mirrors are seen as symbols of good fortune here. And it's small enough to fit in your pocket, too. It's both cute and practical. Wow, you really thought of everything, huh? I can imagine that, yeah. Latin America, that's cool. Where you don't have to tell me where specifically, but that's cool. Actually, I've been handing these out to armor divers around the island since yesterday. I told them it was a charm, and they should hang on to it for good luck. So everyone has one. It's kind of nice. Another way to bring us all together. You're an armor diver now too, right, user? Why don't you take one? But I... Oh, right. I don't know, it's okay to count you as a diver, given what happened earlier. Like it really matters. We've got plenty, so you should take one too. Thanks. Sorry for the trouble. Hand mirror acquired. That is definitely going to be used eventually. It's no big deal. Don't want you to feel left out or anything. I guess that means, Azami's getting one too as well. Here you go. Well, really? I'm always down for more Kamishimaru merch. Sure thing. Keep it safe and sound in your pocket and maybe it'll keep you safe too. Ooh. My geography such. Oh, wait, no. I have a vague map in my mind. Everyone was really happy to get theirs too. Even your grandma seemed to like it, user. She said she'd be able to use it from now on. Really? I'm glad to hear it. I'm not sure if we should exhaust all the conversation options now. I might. Working as that one diver. Did you go diving today as well, Kikuo? Oh, you mean the whole thing about how we're supposed to stay out of the sea? No one I know is paying attention to that. I took a boat out to the bay from the northern shore and didn't end up with much to show for it. The northern sea? Did anyone go with you? No, I went by myself. Why do you ask? Oh, no particular reason. Just taking notes for later. Oh, yeah. My ear is itchy. Please. I see. You're really serious about becoming an diver diver, huh? It would be a real shame if you couldn't become one with that enthusiasm. I'd like to help, but the thing's really not the best. The timing's not really the best right now. It's okay. Any information you can give me is a help enough. Sorry. I'll help out when things have died down, okay? By the way, user, how much practice did you manage to get in today? Enough to not be a complete beginner anymore, I think. Right on. You definitely have a potential, that much is for sure. Wow, it's pretty impressive you could tell all that just by looking at him. Hey, I thought of a way I can show you my support. Oh, we're stretch. Thank you for the stretch. Oh, I needed this. Oh. And yes, I will hydrate. I have too much hydration next to me right now. I have I have a single. I've got one 1.5 litre bottle that's almost empty. One that's just under half empty. And then I have one that's full. Because, like the ADHD brain I have, I keep getting water bottles and bringing them into our room because I'm like, oh yeah, I should get a bottle of water for my room. I now have 3 of them. At various states of fullness. So I will finish off the one that is almost empty. They're my emotional support water bottles, okay? I need 3 of them apparently. Yes, my joints are not. I have the ankles of an 85-year-old. I'm gonna keep the almost full bottle of water up on my table so I can see it. If you manage to get a high score of 2,000 points in one diving session, I'll give you a special prize. Whoa, isn't that great, user? 2,000 points? Shit, I can't do that. I'll need to max out everything, I think, at that point. What was your high score today again? Let's see. I think it was 369 points. Oof, I'm afraid you weren't quite up to snuff. Too bad. Yeah, I brought shame on my name as the patron saint of diving. Which means I'm gonna have to go back to that fucking diving minigame and grind. Once you become a proper diver, I'll tell you all about the good diving spots I know. Kamishibaru. Oh yeah, there's something I've been wondering about for a while. Hiccups. Oh, I've got one of those as well. I use it for work. Were you the one who came up with the idea for Kamishimara, Kikuo?
Nope. No, I can't take credit for that one.
Oh, right. I forgot you didn't know User.
No, what? At one point, the local youth organization was trying to come up with a souvenir idea for tourists. Tsukasa stepped up and suggested creating a mascot character for Kamishima. Even she drew the sign for it. Mascot characters are all the rage nowadays, you know? There are even mascots for the World Expo and the Japan Games. Oh, I see. So Tsukasa drew this.
I only heard about it after the fact, too. I didn't know she was good at drawing. It's not just a cute little turtle. It's a unique look on her face makes the big impression.
Yeah, the old guys here didn't seem too sure about it at first, though. But thanks to Asami's fervent endorsement, it ended up making the cut.
I just didn't want Tsukasa's design to go to waste, you know? She put a lot of effort into it.
I think it's a great mascot too, for what it's worth. How interesting. I'm glad I asked. Files. Mascot character.
Don't think I need to read that on stream.
There's a bunch of Kamishimara merch now. Keychains, no pets, you name it. If you want any, let me know.
Mood.
Very, very much the case here. Probably. Underwater gathering tips. Do you have any tips that might help when I'm diving? Hey now, that's basically asking me to give away company secrets for free. Oh, I didn't mean anything like that. Just the basics would be helpful. The basics, huh? Well, how about this then? Sometimes your foot can get caught in rocks while you're swimming, so you should always stay aware of your surroundings. Ah, so being focused on your catch can get you into trouble. That makes sense. If you swim hard enough, you should be able to free yourself, but don't panic too much if it happens, okay? Thanks. I'll be careful. If I'm ever allowed to go diving again, that is. Diving tips. Blah, 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 blah. I can read that later. That's all I've got for now. If you want to get more tips, try asking Suyu. Missing armor divers. Have you heard about the 2 armor divers from the mainland who went missing? Of course I have. They evidently disappeared one right after the other. I guess it's a reminder of just how dangerous the sea can be. Hearing news like this is always pretty sobering. Do you think they were just accidents? Well, some of the other divers think it's a sign that something bad's going to happen. But you should probably keep quiet about this, User. You start bringing it up, people get suspicious.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Personally, though, I think they were probably just unfortunate accidents. I hope they're both found safe and sound. And convo, sweet. Oh, was that all? I'll be getting back to work then. Now is the rich asshole free. We've wasted time walking around home, so Chia's still there. Okay, so we have to talk to Sue first, I'm guessing. Righty. Granny! Gran. Granny! Oh! Welcome back, User! Oh, and Asami's here too.
Thanks for having me.
You two went out diving today, didn't you? How did it go? Get a decent haul? Gran, about that. I was all set to enjoy the next stage of my life as an armor diver, but I found myself forced to leave the very day of my grand debut. Goodness, did something happen? Oh my! Chie and the others said all that? If I were you, I wouldn't pay them any mind. You're not breaking any rules, are you?
You're sure it's okay?
No point in fretting over pointless details is what I always say. Grandmother, Tsuyu Minakuchi. Profile.
Female housewife, 63 years old. Yuzu Minakuchi's paternal grandmother and former armor diver. Born in the Taisho period, she has a relaxed, broad-minded nature, but her tendency to not concern herself with the finer details often makes others around her uneasy. Although now retired due to health issues, she was one of the best armor divers on Kamishima, especially in her younger days, during which she had the first rivalry with Chie Toyama, also known as Chie the Mermaid. Later years saw them reconcile, and now they can often be seen talking and laughing together at the diver's hut while grilling their catches. She lost her husband to the war when her son, Tosuke Minakuchi, was 3 years old. Working as an armor diver. Huh. I must have underestimated how deep the tensions ran. I never imagined they'd still be that hostile towards her. I thought things would have calmed down by now for sure. I'm sorry, Yuza. It's okay, Gran. Not being allowed to dive isn't the end of the world or anything. But are you sure that isn't a reason no one wants to talk about, Mum? Well, no reason I can think of. I'd like to get to the bottom of things if it's possible. It's going to affect my life here if I don't, and I'd like to clear Mum's name too. You don't mind me saying, it does seem pretty weird that people would think it would be this upset just by a user coming back to Kamishima. You sure there's not some particular reason they don't like the thought of him going out diving? Well, no reason I can think of. That's the same exact answer as before. She's determined to say she doesn't know. Gran, I know you've always been reluctant to talk about Mum, but I'm not a child anymore. Isn't it about time you tell me the truth? Yeah. You really can't think of any reason why someone would have a problem with Mum? Well, alright then. I'll be honest with you. Mari wasn't actually human. Huh? You mean we were right? Are you for real? Wait. Don't tell me you believed that. Can't you boys take a joke? I was obviously kidding. Did all that seawater pickle your common sense? Wait, you were joking? Of course I was. I thought I'd mess around a bit and see if I could get a rise out of you, but you sure turned the tables on me. Turning a prank around on me like that. I have nothing more to teach you, young user. Oh, and here I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. It's no good. She said I'm getting us to slap. We're not going to get anything more out of her like this. Maybe she'd be willing to talk if we had some more information. So, how did your dive out in the bay go? The dive went perfectly. You may know me only as your grandson user. But in truth, I am a living legend. Kamishima's patron saint of diving. Well, now, doesn't that sound impressive? Though I think this living legend is a bit much. I'd rate you as a legend in training at best. Ugh. You could tell all that just with a single glance. I know a greenhorn when I see one. Come back when you've spent a bit more time in the sea, eh? But I've been forbidden from diving for now, so it seems my life as an armor diver will have to wait. No need to fret. I'm sure we'll sort itself out in time. Dun, right? Because they have... Yusa and Azami have a theory right now that his mother was a mermaid. So they were completely thrown off when she was like, she wasn't human. I don't know about that. Your grandma's the same as ever, huh? Whatever the case, I'm happy you've chosen to follow in my footsteps, user. Good thing I kept Mara's outfit, huh? Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about being able to fit in my mum's clothes at this age. You never did get any taller off after middle school, did you? Damn, has my constant diet of fresh chiffon meant nothing? There's nothing you need to worry about, user. Doesn't make you any less charming. Aha, he's short. He's short and twinky. Poor boy. Do you have any diving tips for me, Gran? Advice, huh? Let me see.
If you're looking to get a higher score in a single dive, you should focus on gathering everything you can, even the small fry. Getting 10 or 15 will even earn your bonus on your final score. If you manage to nab a big catch, switching your focus to bringing in as many small catches as possible should get you a good result. I see. That'll be a great help. More fishing tips, probably. You wouldn't happen to have any other diving tips for me, would you? Well now, bold as brass are we? But I'm glad you're keen to learn. Let me see. Sometimes you come across areas when diving are simply brimming with sea creatures. You can call them bountiful zones. Bountiful zones, huh? I'd love to see one. On the other hand, areas with lots of starfish are usually picked clean, with no sea creatures to speak of. I call those places barren zones. So the more starfish there are, the less sea creatures there'll be. Got it. A whopper of a catch could still be hiding in a barren zone, of course. Always keep an eye on your surroundings. Yeah, more diving. More diving tips. Sorry I had to leave early today to go diving, Gran. Was everything okay? How are you feeling? Well, I didn't have much pep in my step today, but it's fine because Sato came over this morning. She really is a saint, always helping me out with the cooking and the cleaning like that. Again? Gran, I know you're fond of her, but you shouldn't rely on her too much. I didn't know Sato was coming over to help out here. Yeah, she and Gran became friends recently. Before I knew it, she was coming over every so often. Sato's such a nice young lady. She even chats with me about all the latest TV drama developments. She's a bit naive in some ways, but she's a quick learner. Remembers everything I tell her almost instantly. Huh, and I had no idea. I said she could relax here a while, but she's left early today. I'm glad you're having fun. But make sure to thank her properly sometime, alright? Of course, of course. I'm always happy to help, you know. There's no need to depend on others so much. I know, but if someone has to help me get things done, I'd rather as a lovely young girl, you know? And besides, she's done a much better job at cooking and cleaning than you do, User. See? I do my best to be a good grandson, and this is the thanks I get. Lol. You've heard me say this before, but Mara found it difficult to fit in here on the island. The environment she'd grown up in was quite different, you see. She struggled to adapt to the life in a small community. No other reason I can think of for the beef of the others had with her. Okay. We're going out again for a bit, Gran. Got it. You two take care, okay? So, since we know where Sato was, should we go back and check with what's-his-face? Chadwick? Doesn't look like anyone's here right now. Let's try somewhere else. Okay. No, he does not magically reappear. Wakamura should be free now. Okay. Well, I guess we haven't been to the Torii yet, have we? Just check this place. Okay. And then we've talked all we can. So yeah, going to the Torii gate, I guess. How long have we been going? We've got 20 minutes-ish before we need to do another ad break for pre-rolls, and we've been going for about 3 hours. So yeah, I think we'll go for one more hour. An hour and 20 minutes, maybe, I think. Huh? Oh, did he reject her? Because she has a crush on the red
Jersey guy we saw up the other street, and she was going to confess her feelings. Tsukasa, Sato, what's going on?
Well, I'm sorry. I can't explain right now. Tsukasa, come on. We're drawing too much attention here.
Hey, what's all that about? Something was definitely up with them.
Yeah, they practically ran off when they saw us.
Tsukasa was crying. What the hell could have happened?
I'm worried too, but Sato said she can't explain right now. I'm sure that means they'll tell us what's up later.
True. We shouldn't grill them if they're not ready to talk about it. Still, I get the feeling we probably shouldn't tell Shitaro we saw Sato here.
Yeah, let's keep this to ourselves until we learn a bit more. Now, is Wakamura gonna be free?
There we go. Indulging in their bromance, yes. Ah, old man Wakamura. You mind if we ask you something real quick?
Just one thing after another today. What now?
Azami and the Minakuchi boy. I heard from Chia you two went out of the bay to do some diving earlier. Well, I've got a bone to pick with you, and there's no time like the present.
Okay.
So, boy, you're serious about wanting to become an armor diver?
Huh?
I thought a flare should come in to get my permission to dive. But now I hear you've been running around looking into Mare Minakuchi. What's the meaning of this? She was my fucking mother, you dipshit! Fuck you! We have been asking around. Fuck you.
To be honest, we have been asking around. I guess there was no hiding it from you.
Yuza, are you sure this is okay?
It's probably the best to be honest about things now, Azami. It's just like you said. We've been trying to find out more about my mum.
Ha! I knew it.
Anyway, my point is,
no more sticking your nose where it don't belong, got it? And most of all, no becoming an armor diver. Blah, 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 you suck.
So, I give up on becoming an armor diver and fall in line. Will you tell me about my mum?
All the sniffing around you're doing sure ain't filling in line, that's for sure. Besides, you should be asking Sue about all this business, not me. She's gonna know more than I do.
Oh?
So Sue really does know more than she's letting on.
Gran said she doesn't know anything about my mum, though.
Huh? So she said that even to you?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know that much about myself. Sue's always been the tight-lipped about Mara Minakuchi, where she came from, what her deal was. So you've been saying Yuza's mum's to blame for that massive storm even though you don't know for sure?
Sue ain't said nothing to deny it. Speaks for herself, don't it?
Man, these people fucking suck. Well, there's no evidence saying she's innocent, so she may as well be guilty. Fuck you. These people suck. These people are the worst. You don't like what you're hearing, you should go ask Sue about it yourselves.
Mr. Wakamura, what is the Raging Waves curse bearer?
What? Where'd you hear about that?
Bah, it's gotta be Shotaro. Boy never could have kept his mouth shut.
We heard it's some sort of curse that whips the waves into a frenzy. Does something like that really exist? Look at this guy's face. He hates us so much.
How about we curse you?
You suck. He's mean. I don't like him. It does. The Southern Sea disaster 5 years ago was caused by that very same curse.
The curse of the raging waves. And your mother, Mayor Munakichi, was the one who brought it down on us. The storm was no natural disaster, it was entirely preventable. If we'd only stopped her from going onto the bay that day, Kamishita wouldn't have to suffer such a tragedy. What? My mom would never have done something like that. Just 'cause you don't remember don't mean she wasn't up to something out there. And whether it was intentional or not, who can say? But I don't make a difference either way. I don't get how you can say Miss Mara was the curse bearer or whatever when you didn't know anything about her. Do you have any proof? Proof? I got the words of a trustworthy sorcerer backing me up. That's all the proof I need. Oh, okay. Awesome. The proof you have of this random innocent woman's doing something evil is just some random words of some fuckwit sorcerer in Tokyo who has never been here before. Fantastic. Great. Why didn't we ask that? Why didn't we see that before? He's got so much good proof. He's got the words of a sorcerer from Tokyo. Great. God, this man's a fucking asshole. This guy sucks. He's so fucking dumb. A sorcerer? You're basing all of this on what some woo-woo wizard said. Give me a break. You can believe what you like. It doesn't change the fact that curses and spirits are as real as anything else. Bah, I don't have time to butt heads with you two. But I know what I'm saying is the honest truth. Looks like there's no point in trying to change his mind. Old man's as stubborn as a mule. So you really think there's a storm coming? And that storm is cursed by a curse? Course I do. Some fellas who said they were with the police dropped by to warn me about it yesterday, in fact. The police? Why would the police be warning you about a curse? Yeah, I reckon they were just phonies trying to take advantage of the curse for their own benefit. But even you two must have noticed that the rumbling coming from the sea over the last few days, right? That's proof of the curse of the raging waves is getting stronger. So that's why you've been telling everyone to... Oh, that's not. So that's why you've been telling everyone to stop taking their boats out and prepare for a storm. Sure is. Naturally, I can't just come out and say it's cause of a curse. There's no telling when or where it will rear its head. It's too dangerous to go out in the water in these circumstances. Yeah, even so, we'll have to take our boats out again eventually. We can't keep off the sea forever. You're damn tootin', which is why I've got to find a way to stop the curse as soon as possible. Why would a curse be affecting the sea around here, though? Seems like you two still don't believe me. Fine, let's see if this'll change your minds. A long time back, there used to be another island south of here. Ise-Shima, it was called. Ise-Shima? This is the first I've heard of it. They say it was devastated by an earthquake and tsunami nearly 400 years ago. But the truth of the matter is that the raiders overran the island and slaughtered every last one of the people who lived there. Huh? The murdered islanders' resentments gave rise to a curse of the raging waves. And the resulting storm and tsunami sank the island to the bottom of the sea, raiders and all. Is that true? The curse is still rolling about in the seas near here to this very day. Just one little push and that storm could come barreling down on Kamishima next. A push? Like maybe finding a magic glowing blue rune behind chains in the ocean and breaking it, maybe? Would that be the push to fuck everything up? Because I don't know who would have done that. Definitely wasn't me. Oops. I should have left the rune alone. I had an option to ignore it. I could have just moved on. Probably. But no, we broke it. We broke the seal. Oopsie doodles. Accident. Something that would awaken the Undel's anger again, such as someone with ties to those raiders, say a descendant of theirs, drawn near to where Ise-Shima was.
A descendant? Wait, you're saying my mum was a descendant of the raiders who attacked Ise-Shima? Sure am, and as her son, you share her blood. But how could that? Only natural everyone would see you as a bad omen, nah. I really didn't want you back on the island, you know. Should be grateful I didn't have you shipped back to the mainland the very next ferry. So you're telling me that's how everyone's seen Yuza and his folks all this time? It's fine, Azami. Let's hear the rest of what he has to say. Are you saying the reason the curse of the raging waves reawakened is because I came back to Kamishima? Nah, there were signs even before you came back. So the direct cause was probably something else. That still don't change the fact that you're a bad omen, though. Ugh. How are you even planning to stop the curse? That ain't none of your concern. Just sit back tight at home and stay out of my way. And I don't want to hear any more about you going out to sea, are we clear? Yeah, this guy sucks. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter. Should be clear now that just how much of a danger you are to the island. Now get yourselves home and stay put. Seems like that's all we're going to get out of him. But maybe we could ask Tsuyu about what we just heard. She might be able to tell us more. Okay, so now we can elicit more information from Tsuyu. Get ready to spill your beans. Oh, was there something else you needed, user? Tell us about the fucking curse. By the way, Gran, we just went to talk to Mr. Wakamura, and there's something we wanted to ask you about. What was that? My hearing's been a bit off recently, you see. Please don't say that. A lot of armor divers have ear problems, so it's not really a laughing matter. Ah, someone has no sense of humor. So, did you know that everyone thought Mum was the Raging Case? Was the Raging Waves crest bearer? Wow! I'm impressed you managed to say that without stuttering. I didn't. He didn't, but I did. So you've heard of it before? Oh, drat. Me and my big mouth. He said Mum was descended from the ones who first called forth the curse, or something like that. It's mid-morning. It is 1 p.m. 2 minutes past 1. Is that why? And that's why everyone's so concerned with what I get up to. Is it true, though? Nah. Well, if you know that much, I suppose I can tell you too the truth. If I just rest up a bit, I'll be up and around again in no time. I want the two of you to come to the southern bay later. Once the sun goes down. Right. Thanks, Gran. Can you tell us about it now? I think it would be easier to show you what I mean. Okay. Well, we'll be at the bay at sundown. But if you're not feeling up to it, don't push yourself, okay? No need to rush now. I'll tell you everything later. You'll want to prepare yourselves for this one. Thereabouts. Okay. And confirmation. We're going out for a bit again. Reading is hard. We're going out again for a bit, Gran. Got it. You two take care, okay? Do we go back to the Torii where they were? Guess no one's here. Town clock. Oh, Chio's here. Chio. You two again, wandering around, poking your noses in the business you shouldn't be. How about you stop messing around and just give up already? Nothing you do is gonna make me change my mind. I'm saying this for your sake as much as anyone else's, Minakuchi boy. Try to understand my position, eh? For my sake. You managed to survive that disaster 5 years ago. Some would call it a miracle, even. I wouldn't do to see that miracle go to waste, would it? Maybe I flew off the handle a bit earlier, ended up coming off a bit stronger than I meant to. I can't tell you anything about your mother, but believe me when I say it's best you let sleeping dogs lie. Ooh, we can integrate... What word do I... not inspection. Interrogate. That was the word. Interrogate her. Give me information. Is this about how Yuzu's mom was cursed with that curse? The curse of the raging waves or whatever? So you already know. Heard it all from Shinobu, I'll wager. Do you believe in the curse then, Miss Chia? Of course I do. At the very least I know it's not some old wives' tale. I'm not saying you have to believe it too, though. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to talk bad about the woman or anything, but there was obviously something up with Mary Minakuchi 5 years back. She always seemed anxious and on edge. And then the disaster struck. Might be just reading in too much into it, but I can't shake these doubts of mine either. I said it before and I'll say it again. No diving. My stance there hasn't changed a bit, you hear me? Damn, I guess that's that. By the way, where did you go diving today? Well... User wanted a particular spot, so we went about 5 kilometers south of the island. Say what? What were you thinking, diving in the Southern Sea of all places? You've got even less sense than I thought. You know full well everyone avoids that area because of the disaster 5 years ago. Yeah, I know. But Azami and I both lost family in the disaster too. We wanted to take the chance to pay our respects. Well, I can't say I don't get how you feel. But that strange rumbling I told you about is coming from the south. Just do me a favor and stay away from the sea, alright? Alright. Ain't gonna get nothing from me there. Do you know foreign white people, have they been there? Blonde hair, maybe? Oh, sorry. That's not dumb. Oh, I almost forgot to ask. Have the 2 foreign tourists come by here at all? Sure did. Saw them just now, actually. What? Do you know where they went? Looked like they were heading to the lighthouse from what I could tell. Ah, the lighthouse, huh? Gotcha. Lighthouse is a location that exists. Don't go following them around just because we don't get many see many foreign folks around these parts, you hear? What about the divers? Yeah, we heard that 2 armor divers from the mainland went missing in some sort of accident. You heard right. Do you think that's a bad omen as well? I do. I'm well aware just how dangerous the sea can be, but 2 divers getting caught up in accidents and going missing one after the other, that tells me there's something off with the sea itself. We'd all done here. You 2 should leave dealing with the island matters to Shinobu from now on. Keep your heads down and stay out of trouble, you hear? Yeah. Well, that was something. She isn't a bad person at heart, but she sure is stubborn. Yeah. Lighthouse. We are
I don't think I'll do another ad break. I'm not going to be playing for much longer anyway. Maybe 30 minutes to an hour more. There we are.
Oh, looks like you found them.
That looks like them, all right. Excuse me.
You rang?
Ding ding.
Doorbell. Do my eyes deceive me? Could these young islanders have come all the way to talk to us? Welcome. Welcome to Ise-Shima Lighthouse. There's not much here, but please make yourselves at home.
Thank you for having us?
Why is he the one welcoming us?
It's because most people here have been avoiding him. He's excited to finally... someone finally wants to talk.
Oh.
Anyway, we were wondering if you could spare a moment to talk.
Wait, before you do, shall we play a game? I want to guess why you've come to talk to us. May I?
Sure.
It's probably safe to assume you know we've been making the rounds asking questions here.
They do, but I'm not sure if it's worth doing a 3-minute ad break right now. You know? Since I'm not going to be playing for much, much longer.
Indeed. It was most likely hearing such news that incited you to climb all the way up here to meet us, which means... I've got it. We've almost certainly done something to offend the good people of this island, committed some manner of ill-mannered faux pas. You must come to tell us that the lighthouse is off limits to everyone except authorized personnel.
Actually, no.
I'm sorry.
That fucking face.
Bro. Ugh, the bitter taste of failure. And thus does my stint as an aspiring detective end in ignominy. I'd say the whole show was kind of a social faux pas, at least.
Don't worry. He's always like this. He'll bounce back in no time. I see. He must be pretty resilient. Since you don't guess right, do you mind if I continue?
Oh, asking my permission, are we? Well then, by any means, permission granted.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Anav Barnum. You can call me Avi as a sign of our newfound friendship. And, of course, because I like it better. Arnav Barnum. As in Barnum Circus? P.T. Barnum?
Okay then. Avi.
Such a pleasing ring to it. And what can I do for you, young man?
Would this girl be your daughter?
Not quite. Miss Circe Lunalight here is a distant relative of mine.
Yes. Circe Lunalight would be me. Nice to meet you.
Circe Lunarlight.
I'm Yuza Minakuchi, a resident of Kamishima, and this is...
Azami Kamoi. Nice to meet you. Yuza and Azami, eh? Pleasure is mine. Wait. Minakuchi? Oh-ho, so we've piqued your interest, have we? I'm a fantasy writer by trade, with a reach spanning the Atlantic, from the bonny England to the vast America.
Not that any of his books sell at all.
That's right. For some reason, no one buys my novels. Quite the mystery, no? Alas, a fantasy writer has no need for mysteries. What's that? What's that? I earn more as an occult writer, so that might as well be my main job now. Humbug, I say. Stick a socket in and mind your own beeswax.
I see.
In any case, I'm just your average free spirit, footloose, fancy-free, and all that. What's that? You're wondering if any of my bohemian nature is the reason I remain unattached and unwed?
Humbug, I say, stick a socket in mind your business.
You seem to be enjoying yourself. I am indeed. Why not give it a try yourself? 1, 2, 3.
Humbug, I say. I'm actually good, thanks.
Impressive as it is, I can see that doing this pose 3 times might have been a bit much, yes. This guy is hard to keep up with. I don't think this guy is in the right game. At any rate, I recently found myself with a pressing need to visit your fair country for research. Fortunately, young Cersei here has just happened to be studying in Japan and kindly agreed to accompany me as my guide.
Your guide?
Indeed, she is quite the enthusiast when it comes to Japanese folklore and occult phenomena. Such a pleasure to converse with her as well.
Ise-Shima is deeply spiritual. Ise-Shima is a deeply spiritual region, full of sacred places I've always wanted to visit.
Oh.
Recollection acquired. We travelled around the mainland before coming here, but this place stands above and beyond. My nose almost started bleeding from the exhilaration.
Oh, here we go. Past recollection chapter available. Anne of Burnham. Blue question marks. Right? It will unlock after all conditions are met. Okay. So we've unlocked it, but we can't read it yet.
In fact, I think it did a bit.
You must have been really excited, huh? Is this place really that special compared to other places?
Of course! It wasn't called the Land of Wither Repair. It wasn't called the Land where the repair the waves came from the eternal world.
That sentence fucks me up because I feel like it's not translated properly. The land whither repair the waves from the eternal... Where? The land whither repair the waves from the eternal world for nothing, you know. That sentence makes no grammatical sense. I feel like the translation's got to be wrong because the land whither repair the waves from the eternal world. What? Okay, English is my native language and I don't fucking understand that sentence. I think the whither is from, like, whither you're from. But the land from which repair the waves from the eternal world? I just don't think it's translated well. Because it doesn't make sense. The land whither what?
What's this? You've never heard it called that. It said that Yamatohime no Mikoto, the Empress of ancient Japan, was searching for a suitable place to enshrine Amaterasu 2,000 years ago. She received a divine revelation that the waves around the Ise province came from the eternal world, which led her to establish the Ise Grand Shrine.
Yeah, it's either wrong or using Middle English words improperly, yeah.
This eternal world is a separate realm from the world in which we live. Some describe it as a perpetual paradise.
Whoa, you're gonna have to slow down there a bit, so, what does that mean exactly?
We learned about it in the local history classes, remember?
Oh, yeah. I think I remember. Sorta. Basically, it is such a sacred place that even the ancient gods took a liking to it, right?
Exactly. It has such an enriching vibe. Just being here is enough to have my nose gushing all day long.
Okay, random foreign child. I bet the residents wouldn't get a feeling too hot about our noses kept bleeding all the time. One thing's for sure though, you seem to really like Ise-Shima. As a local, I'm super happy to hear that.
Profile.
Is that for them? Arnav Barnum, male, author, occult journalist, 40 years old. Nickname Avi, a fantasy author and occult journalist whose books are published in both America and England, but they apparently don't sell well. Unmarried, he has apparently come to Japan searching for mermaids. Cersei Lunarlight, female exchange student, 15 years old. Young girl from England, currently on exchange in Japan. She seems to harbor an ardent interest in Japanese folklore and occult stories. Will you be staying on Kamishima tonight? If you need somewhere to stay, I know a few places. We've actually already booked a guest house back on the mainland. We'll be taking the last ferry back after this. Oh, I guess you don't have much time left then, huh? So, what brings you to Kamishima today? I'm glad you asked, young user. We were hoping to pick your brains of the topic as well. There wouldn't happen to be any legends concerning mermaids passed down on this island, would there? So you really are looking for mermaids? Oh, indeed we are. You know what mermaids are, yes? I refer, of course, to the mythical half-human, half-fish creature. Sure, we know that much at least. Then I may be able to provide a modicum of additional information on the subject. Additional information? Well, you may be aware that the typical Western mermaid is envisioned as having the lower half of a fish and the top half of a human woman. It is thought that this interpretation has its origins in another sea monster, the sirens of Greek mythology. Their claim to fame is surfacing near reefs and bewitching sailors with their beautiful voices. Andersen's fairy tale The Little Mermaid is a famous example of this type of mermaid. Indeed, it caused the image to enter common knowledge. Yeah, that's what it comes to mind when I think mermaids too. A typical mermaid, right? But the mermaid that appears in ancient Japanese folklore is quite different. This mermaid is only the head of a human, with the rest of its body being a fish. It appears it was seen more as an evil spirit or yokai in nature. The legend of eating its flesh grants immortality also implies that it was seen more of a fish than human. Sure, that makes sense. People would definitely think twice about eating something that looked human, right? That isn't to say there's a difference in Eastern and Western interpretations of mermaids, mind you. One could rather assume that there are several different types of creature that can be encompassed under the term mermaid. After all, there are also reports of more humanoid, or demi-human, mermaids being sighted in Japan in later years. Different types of mermaids, huh? Personally, I think lumping the two under the same appellation is a mistake. After all, they're two different creatures that just happen to share the same trait of being half fish, half human. It leads to misunderstandings when conflicting stories get passed down, and the whole concept gets treated as a cult malarkey. I think I see what you mean. Listening to you talk about them, it sounds like you believe mermaids really exist, Avi. But of course I do. After all, I didn't come here to research mermaids. I came to look for mermaids. Ba-ba-bam! This guy is so unserious. This is all very compelling. Isn't it? I think this is the first time someone's agreed with me in the matter. Mermaids. And that brings me to my next question. You two wouldn't have any local info on mermaids, would you? Unfortunately, I've never heard any folklore about mermaids here. I see. That would align with the answers we've received of our other inquiries thus far. And it would seem our investigation has been branded us as uncertified weirdos. Most everyone now turns us a blind eye, as well as a deaf ear. Well, it's probably not just because of that. I mean, isn't there supposed to be a huge occult craze going on in Japan right now? I assumed everyone would be jumping at the chance to discuss cryptids. Pretty sure that's just a small group of enthusiasts getting worked up. A very vocal minority, yeah. You're that interested in the occult. What brought you all the way to Kamishima? Do you have any reason to believe mermaids could be found here? An excellent question. I do indeed. More precisely, I have a reason to believe they could be found around Ise-Shima, an island that no longer exists.
Ise-Shima?
Indeed. I obtained this information through personal research, so I imagine it's not too common knowledge. But some say that there were 3 mermaids, Sobae, Nagame, and Hayase, living in the seas around Ise-Shima 400 or so years ago.
3 of them? You even knew their names? We didn't even know Ise-Shima existed until today.
It seems a deliberate decision was made to not leave any records of Ise-Shima's existence, which would obviously lead one to believe that something is being concealed. On that note, did you know that records remain of several other sightings of mermaids in Ise Bay?
What?
Really?
That's right. Legends about mermaids exist throughout Japan, and this region is no exception. In particular, there are reports of mermaids having been discovered in Tsu City and Ise City, both which border Ise Bay.
Whoa, I had no idea.
I've jotted down some notes on these legends, so please take a look if you're interested.
Give me your files.
Ise Bay mermaid legend. The mermaids of Betsuho.
According to Kokon Cho Monju, a collection of notable tales old and new, an anthology of spoken stories compiled in the 13th century, 3 mermaids were discovered caught in a fisherman's net in Betsuho in Ise province, modern-day Nakabeppo, Kawaki town in Tsu City. The mermaid of Futami Gaura. Oh yes, we've heard this. There's a total of 6 mermaid sightings mentioned in the Kagenki. The ancient annals of Horyuji Temple covered the latter half of the Kamakura period to the Nombokucho period. One of these entries describes a mermaid sighting in Futami, Ise province, modern-day Futami town, and Ise city. In the 2nd year of the Enbun era, 1357, the mermaid was subsequently named Enmeiju, a name composed of characters affiliated with long life. Ano town's Yaopikuni. Although the exact time period is unclear, the legends tell of a girl named Osato from Kusawa in Ano town of Age district, who became immortal after eating the flesh of a mermaid and went on to become Yaopikuni, a nun who lived for 800 years. The 3 mermaids of Ise-Shima. While this information is not recorded in any literature, according to Avi's research, 3 mermaids, Sobaya, Nagame, and Hayase, purportedly lived on Ise-Shima, an island said to have sunk about 400 years ago.
Ooh, okay. Thanks. This is all very interesting. So, which type of mermaid are you looking for, Avi?
Well, it would seem the mermaid sightings around the Ise Bay were fish mermaids.
Fish mermaids?
But the mermaids sighted around Ise-Shima were apparently of the human mermaid sort. So it stands to reason that any mermaids around here would be human mermaids as well.
By human mermaids, you mean the sort that were more closer to humans than fish, right?
Indeed. The ones closer to fish, meanwhile, are known as fish mermaids. Well, that's what I call them anyway.
I see.
I don't know whether that makes it easier to understand or more complicated.
In that case, mermaids whose flesh who would make you immortal if you eat it, would have been to be the fish mermaids then, right?
Another fine question. It is indeed difficult to imagine people eating the flesh of a human mermaid. But I personally believe that the human mermaids are also having the power to bestow immortality on people.
Oh, I wonder.
How about another refresher on myth and legend? Either of you familiar with a place called Ryugu?
Ryugu?
Is that related to the Yugu Palace that appears in the tale of Ise-Shima Taro? Just so. It could be well considered the inspiration for the undersea palace in that familiar fairy tale. Whoa, I was right. Files updated. Ise-Shima Taro. Long, long ago, a youth by the name of Ise-Shima Taro lived in a village by the sea. One day, upon rescuing a sea turtle that was being bullied on the beach, Taro was amazed when the turtle thanked him by inviting him to Ryugu Palace, the legendary undersea palace of the Dragon King, as a token of gratitude for his kindness. Ryugu Palace was a wonderful place with beauty unlike anything found in the surface world. The princess of Ryugu Island, Otohime, received him with great hospitality, and Taro spent his days treated to elegant dances performed by the sea breams and flounders, and satisfied by the extravagant feasts surrounding his days in the dream. After spending some time enjoying his luxurious lifestyle, Taro began to miss his village. He asked Otohime for permission to return home, and although sad to see him go, the princess granted him a request. As a parting gift, she handed him a mysterious box, a tamate bako, but warned him to never open it. Thinking this strange, but agreeing to Otohime's request nonetheless, Taro accepted the tamate bako and set out back towards the village on Turtleback. Upon reaching his village, Taro realized that everything was different. The house where he lived in was gone, and there was no sign of his parents or anyone he had known. What he had believed to be just a short sojourn into the Ryugu Palace had in fact been several hundred years on the surface, and the village and the people he had once known were no more. Overcome with despair, Taro turned to the tamate bako he had been gifted. In the final grasp at hope, he opened the box, and a thick white smoke engulfed him, and in that instant, the 100 of years that had passed caught up with him, turning him into an old man. Yeah. The Ryu, dragon, surely refers to the god of the sea. It's not uncommon for deities associated with water to be serpentine in nature. That would then make the Ryugu, the palace, where the dragon god of the sea resides, the palace of the Dragon King. Huh. I had no idea Ryugu Palace was based on something else. Ryugu is known for being home to the priestess who attended the god of the sea. These women are collectively referred to as Otohime. Oh yeah, the Princess Otohime appeared in the tale of the Ise-Shima Taro, didn't she? Yeah, but she was described as the ruler of the Ryugu Palace in the fairy tale, so she was actually a priestess. Slight embellishment to make for a more interesting story, I assume. Hardly uncommon. There's also another interesting theory about the Otohime of Ryugu. It's said that they were half fish, half human women in appearance. In other words, they were mermaids. Oh. But that's what I hear. But what's that I hear you say? That's all well and good, but where's the Ryugu Palace anyway? You want to know? You're dying to know, aren't you? Very well, then take it away, Cersei. Right. As a matter of fact, Ryugu is said to be the exact same place as the Eternal World I mentioned earlier. Whoa, really? In other words, the sea around Ise, which is said to consist of the waves of the Eternal World, is in fact the location of Ryugu. And Ryugu is home to the Otohime Mermaids, right? That's right. So, his mother came in with a box. So his mum is one of these mermaids then, is my theory. Because she's silent and weird about where she came from. And then after the disaster, she was found on the other island with a box. I don't know, man. There's so much information to keep track of. What's more, as a priestess who lived on the land, said to be an... What's more, as a priestess who lived in a land... Oh,
What's more, as priestesses who live in a land said to be an eternal paradise, it wouldn't be odd that they had some sort of power to grant immortality to humans. Even in the tale of Ise-Shima Taro, Princess Otohime displayed an ability to influence the physical age of other people using tatemabako. If the story has any basis in the ability of mermaids to influence the human lifespan, the power of hers makes a lot more sense, don't you think? I see. So that's why you think the human mermaids are able to grant immortality, even without eating their flesh.
Oh ho! You see, intriguing, is it not? But how would you even get to the Yugu? Ha ha! What creature was responsible for bringing Ise-Shima Taro and the Yugu to the eponymous tale? That's right, a turtle, or kame. And what is the name of the island we're currently standing upon?
Oh, Kameshima.
And there you have the reason for our visit.
So you believe there might be some clue as to how to get to the Yugu hidden in Kameshima? Could Kameshima really have some sort of link to the Yugu?
The Yugu. Tales of the Yugu, the abode of the god of the sea, exist everywhere in every area in Japan. Posited by some theories to be the eternal world of legend, it is said to be the perpetual paradise connected to this world via the seabed that bestows everlasting youth and unnatural longevity to those who live there. Some tales also equate Ryugu to the underworld, the place where the dead journey after death. The tale of Ise-Shima Taro about a youth who was invited to the seafloor palace of Ryugu as thanks for rescuing a turtle led to Ryugu's name becoming widely known throughout the country. In the story, a princess called Otohime serves as ruler of the Ryugu palace, but Otohime originally referred to priestesses serving the god of the sea who parasited over Ryugu. Kind of reminds me of Kyoko Suide? Is that an anime or a game or something? Because, like, a lot of Japanese games and anime and manga and stuff will take, they're probably all just based on the same myths, right? Because these are real Japanese myths and legends that are weaved into these stories. By the way, Yuza.
Yes?
You said your name was Yuza Minakuchi, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Are you familiar with an individual by the name of Mare Minakuchi?
Huh? Mare Minakuchi was my mum. She passed away in an accident 5 years ago.
Ah, I do apologize for the indiscretion. My condolences. 5 years ago, You wouldn't happen to have inherited anything from your mother, would you?
No. But what do you mean? Why do you know about my mum? Could she have had some sort of connection to the mermaids?
Ah, well, this is a bit more related to my personal research, so I can't say for sure.
Please tell me. I'm also looking for mermaids. If you know anything, I have to know.
Well now, you're certainly grown lively all of a sudden. Let's calm down a bit. Regrettably, the only lead I have is a rumor that suggests some connection between the mermaids and Mare Minakuchi.
A rumor? From where?
Oh, you want to know? Well, I suppose you would, wouldn't you? Very well, I'll tell you. I heard it from a descendant of the islanders used to call Ise-Shima home.
What? Someone survived the disaster that sunk Ise-Shima? And their descendants are still around today?
Ooh. Interesting. A long story short, yes. Isn't it fascinating? I'm going to look that up later. This particular individual was also the one who told me about the 3 mermaids who were said to have lived on Ise-Shima.
I see.
By the by, If you're also seeking mermaids, you might have some information of your own, yes? Surely this one-sided exchange of knowledge wounds your good conscience. Allow me to remedy that by accepting any information you have. User. Yeah, this is our best lead yet. Let's share what information we can. Blah, 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 exposition, blah, blah, blah. You see, blah, 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 exposition, blah. Oh-ho! So you were saved by a mermaid during the disaster 5 years ago. And you believe the mermaid in question might have been your mother. Yeah, I know it sounds pretty far-fetched. And I know some of it's probably come from me wanting her to still be alive. Oh, no, on the contrary, I find it very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Why do you ask? Why? There's a rumor that one of the 3 mermaids who used to live around Ise-Shima. They say she took on a human form several decades ago and has lived long among the humans ever since. What? No way. That would fit perfectly with our theory. Ha! Color me surprised as well. This is my surprised face, by the way. But it would be very interesting if that was the case. Yeah. Sorry, Avi. I think I'm at my limit. Oh my. That bad, is it? Is something wrong? My apologies. As much as I wish we could talk more, it would appear we're out of time. I'm afraid we must bid you goodbye for today. Now that you mention it, if you're looking to make the last ferry, you'd probably want to be able to head back soon. Wait, this is the most promising lead we've found. If you could stay a bit longer. Believe me, I'd love to continue our chat too, but this little lady's been feeling a bit under the weather ever since arriving here, you see. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You're not going to get another nosebleed. If you're feeling that bad, maybe you should stay for the night after all. Thank you. I'm just about holding the nosebleed in. But I really should get off the island as soon as possible. Ever since arriving here, I've had this feeling that a terrible calamity is approaching. A calamity? You can't mean. I forgot to mention, young Cersei here is a bit sensitive to things in that sphere, if you catch my drift. Oh, okay, but... As reluctant as I am to part ways, we must really go. Thanks for the information you shared, and never fear, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow. User. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Noted. Avi! You rang? If you happen to find any more leads on mermaids today, could you let me know as soon as possible? Please. Oh, I didn't expect you to be all that interested. Very well. If I hear anything else, I'll be sure to let you know. If you could give me your contact information, perhaps? Thank you. Man, that sure was a stroke of good luck. I never thought they'd have so much info for us. We managed to learn a lot, but it seems like getting any more from them today will be a bit tough. I really need that information by tomorrow, though. So, yeah, he said that again. Some shit happening tomorrow. I think, though, for now, we are going to pop down a save and end stream there for today. Because I need to go and have some lunch. And a nap. Because I'm tired. So, tomorrow stream? Probably more this. Probably more of this tomorrow if I stream. And maybe even Sunday morning. But for now, until tomorrow, stay electrifying. And I will zap you later. I am going to have some leftover lamb chops
Yum. And then a nap. Probably. So bye-bye. Stay electrifying. And I will zap you later. Oh, Shadow Simi! Thank you for the follow. Bye-bye, bye-bye. I hope you had a good lurk. Sorry if you just came in as I was finishing, but this time, tomorrow, / minus 3 hours, I'll be back again. So, bye. Thank you for stream. Thank you for coming to the stream.